Right as we start, my phone goes off. Did y'all hear
Hey,
that?
everybody.
Hey.
What's going
What's up,
on?
everybody? We'll knock on Tim's window. Knock, knock, knock. Come in, Tim. Come in. Knock, 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 knock. Knock, 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 knock. There he is. He heard that time. There he is. So what's up, everybody?
Living the dream.
Living
I hear you. Everybody got their headsets and good to go?
Oh, yeah.
Good deal. Got mine on. I got my high dollar Tech 9 shit on. Got my microphone.
Tech 9?
Yeah.
My mic. Got my vape stuff. And you see what I got?
I get all my research right here.
Nice, because guess what? We're going to take a ride over to 112 Ocean Avenue. Who's interested in taking a ride over there? Well, I'll pile up in my 1956 Toyota.
If the ghosts
Whatever.
try to possess you, just remember, tell them to social distance.
Yes, keep your distance. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
See? We made that trip and they've already taken his ass. My, oh my. Let me get him back in here. La 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 la, and there he is. Where did you go?
Hello.
Did DeFeo get you?
He did. He did.
That fucker. That little fucker.
No, because there's a touch pad on my earbuds. If I actually touch it, it hangs it up. So I was like,
yes.
so if I ever just leave, it's not intentional. It's just me actually.
It's going to take me a long time to get used to you not having a beard. It's driving me crazy.
Weird.
I've gotten used to it.
I've gotten used to it too.
Yeah. So we thought we'd get on here tonight and kind of throw a few updates out there and then kind of dive into a little bit of Amityville. What say you, guys?
Used guys.
Use
Guys? Social distancing fist bumps.
Words are hard, okay?
Yes, they are. Shell, you've got a new hat on. Well, not new, but a different hat on.
I have so many.
Maybe you need to buy 5 more.
I might. I should.
Oh, and that reminds me, speaking of hats, I need to change my name.
Let me get all tucked in here.
Hey, you could do like that one girl did on the
With the
mask video with the pot lid, the
yeah,
glass
I can
one.
do that.
I see more and more people do that now too.
Yeah.
There.
Wait,
Better?
Kenny. You're starting to look like Kenny now. A little bit tighter and you're there.
Just don't die every episode.
But that's the
Oh my God. They killed Timmy. Wait.
You bastard.
Timmy. It's Timmy in Kenny's jacket.
His jacket is
Smart.
black, orange.
I'll tell
It's
you,
okay. It can change colors. Kenny does have one black one. Yes.
green screen is coming. We're
Dun,
also
dun, dun.
coming for Father's Day. So my
Nice.
daughter's insistent that's what she's gave me for my gift. So,
Anybody drinking on anything special?
Just water.
water.
Red cream soda.
Coffee.
Ooh, you lucky bastard. And my old,
Ooh, we do have a
good old Whataburger. Not advertising YouTube. I just like this cup because it's big and it holds a lot of water.
He likes the girth in his
Give me a
hand.
chance.
The girth that's in my hands. A quote by Ron Jeremy.
I don't know.
And today we have the Able flashlight.
Well,
The
the usual toppers on
you
the
were holding it up
website.
high enough you couldn't see the top of it to tell what it really was. So at that point, it looked like a flashlight. There you go. Very nice. As y'all can see, and behind him there is Cassie. Hi.
There you go.
Bye.
Short legs.
Yes, I have short legs. I am short. I'm only 5'1".
Hi, Jess.
It's not to be mean to her. It's just it's better. Hi, Jess.
She's like,
She's getting ready to take a bite, and then she looks over. She's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "What do you expect?"
nothing wrong with being random.
No, not at all.
Not unless
Yeah.
pregnancy's involved. Then a Randall's probably a bad idea.
So, Tim, make the news noise. Ding, 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 ding.
Not much
And
has changed. New York is still screwed from the budget forced, prohibition situation going on until the PMTAs come out or that they get the injunction to go through. And what is it?
What state passed expired? One of the states expired on their flavor ban. Do
I
you
did not
remember?
hear that.
Yeah, it was in the VTA letter.
Okay, I
God,
did not check that today.
and my dumbass, I was reading it, and then I go to click back into my mail instead of clicking back or just clicking on inbox. I click delete. Wait, it might be in delete. Hold on a second.
Delete.
We have
I
some.
might be able to access it from my deleted files.
We got some governors trying to be tyrannical and trying to take over the state and making it so you can only buy, essential foods and stuff. So you're not allowed to buy any electronics or anything. Think about
Yeah.
that. You can't even go to the hardware store to get something to fix your heater cooling system right now.
Yep.
That's an issue.
That is an issue. It's a very big issue.
Mass is
But
not.
yet the hardware stores are open.
And yet the beaches are opening down here in Jacksonville.
I saw that, and
I
people
heard that. Is
flocked.
it actually happening?
People are, but people are losing their shit too. Really. I mean, it's like they sit in front and watch all this and they're like, oh my God, the apocalypse is here. Or the whatever is what you want to call it is here. We're going to die. Florida.
Newsflash, you're gonna die someday anyway. Just
Bingo. But the thing is, now I've shared with these guys here as far as what's going on in my county. As far as the state of Florida, 21.5 million people live in this fucking state. Okay. And there's only 26,000 cases now. 26,000 sounds like a lot of cases.
the Connecticut senator is still pushing, by the way. That's the other
Mhm.
thing. He's still trying to push that through during all this when no one can go to protest it.
Yeah, we got some
And,
major protests going on here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of protesting, for the vape thing or or both?
No, and I ain't vape.
Just for the
Get out of the fucking house.
Just to get everything back to normal here.
Yeah, it's a
it's a balancing act. It really is. But some of these governors are taking it too far. And
they are, and
other
people are
legislators.
like, they're saying, "Oh my God, DeSantis is so stupid. He's only listening to Trump and yada yada." I'm like, look, people, the states that don't have the major problems, yes, open them back up slowly, get them back into where they're fixing the economy and starting to work on it again. Because we already got an economical collapse. We just don't need it to collapse any further, because if we do, we're going to be like in 1933. We're all standing in lines waiting to get a pot of soup or a bowl of
health
soup.
organizations stepping in, trying to be pertinent again, even though they screwed everything up with this
Yep.
and with the vape. Yet they're still trying to be pertinent and trying to push their points of view again. And
yeah.
Trump stepped back at them, and a lot of people didn't like it. But you know what? I'm all for it. I hate that organization.
That
Oh.
organization has been nothing but a plague to begin with. I mean, you look at what's his name, Tedros, whatever his name is. It's about that long. That's the head dude, the head honcho. If you look
Isn't
even
he from
before he
China?
was the general patent of the organization, he had all kind of corrupt shit going on. Even before he took over, and now, you know, I mean, you look at WHO back in 2015 with the Ebola in East Africa, and look how well they handled that, which they didn't. They did the exact same thing, and now look at it again. You know, so people are like, well, the U.S., we're the biggest funders, and China's the biggest funders, and all that.
You know why they
It's
don't care?
designed to push agendas for individual companies that give them money. That's what it's been for years.
Yep.
For decades.
Yep, that's right.
Plus,
Go ahead, Josh.
plus, I think this has something to do with depopulation.
Yep,
I think.
I mean, I do believe this virus is real because I know people have gotten it now that, you know, but the problem with it is it's like, have you already had it? Because with the way things are going, we had a bad cold go through the house in January.
Mm-hmm.
And was that it? I'm not going to take the chance, but yet it could have been. Maybe we
It
already
could
went
have
through
been,
it.
right,
I could be
right.
immune right now, and I don't know.
That's it. It could be, you know, you could be carrying it on the end of your nose right now. I mean, you don't know, you know, but that's the whole thing. It's like these people have to understand that these people that are dying left and right, if you, one, look at the age group of them, two, look at their underlying health conditions that they have. A lot of them do. But also, Andy Oken pointed this out earlier. They have a man, I think it was somebody he knows around there that had passed away. Nothing to do with COVID-19, and his death
Oh yeah, they're talking about the
certificate
fact
is
that, you know,
labeled.
you get in a car accident, but you're COVID-19 positive. They blame it on COVID-19. What's
Yeah.
the car accident have to do with it?
That reminds me.
Just like that lady in Watertown, New York, is going through that exact thing, and her husband
that's
didn't
where I
have
grew
it.
up, was that area. That's where I grew
And
up.
the thing is, the husband didn't even have the virus, but he went to a hospital, and they seen that, and they deemed him because the time of the wreck, they were having a pretty good amount of snow. That's what caused the wreck, being because of
COVID-19.
his body and everything. They deemed it COVID-19, even though it's not related to it. So
Can I
it's
say?
like, go ahead.
So I was reading the actual U.S. HHS document to doctors. I don't know if we could pull this up right quick. I don't know. But I read the actual document and it says, but it is acceptable to report COVID-19 on a death certificate without this confirmation if the circumstances are compelling within a reasonable degree of certainty.
Mm-hmm. How is a reasonable degree of certainty?
Doctor's discretion. So
Yeah.
it could be anything. And look, they keep on posting like how many doctors are dying. How many of them are active doctors and how many are like nursing homes? Because the nursing homes got hit the hardest.
Yeah.
And see, that's the numbers a lot of people are asking about is, okay, hey, what's the numbers in the nursing homes? We're hearing all these
And
that
we
people
don't
are
hear an
dying,
honest answer, do we?
and we're not nowhere. Here, doesn't matter what state. Hell, even out of the states, you're getting the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that there's definitely some bogus crap going on, you know?
It's an agenda. It's an agenda. That's all it is.
You know, the whole thing of me, I think what bothers me about this whole virus thing is definitely not the scare of it, as you guys know that. At first, I was kind of like, okay, and I even told Shelf, like, I'm not gonna worry about it till it gets here in my county. And then as it started, they started reporting, you know, cases here in the States. I started getting a little concerned, but then I'm like, hold up, we've got this amount of people and this amount, we have this amount that lives here, and we've got this amount that's got cases or has died. I usually combine the positive cases and the deaths together because at one time those deaths were positive cases. So I'm like, it's not adding up.
No.
They're acting like this is like a 20% chance that you may get this, which in a big number is pretty significant. Okay. But I'm like, these are numbers that are like 0.0197, 0.0268. We're talking a fraction of 1%. 1%. And I'm like, why are these people freaking out?
However, the way they have it designed is not to stop the virus from spreading. It's to slow it so they can control it. So the chances of getting this are actually very high eventually, anyways, unless they come up with a vaccine and give everybody a vaccine. And
We don't want to go
you
down
got
that rabbit
whole
hole.
theory. I
Yeah,
know.
I don't want, we've been down that rabbit hole
But
all
yeah,
damn week.
yeah.
But
I
that's
mean,
my
that's the
point.
whole thing. It's
Unless
not.
they came up with something like that, majority of people are going to wind up getting this. The
Yeah.
object is to let it go through the system without getting it to like the nursing homes and the elderly and the people that are immune compromised.
Right.
Now that's not happening because you have these young people that don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all young people. I've seen some that are, middle-aged at the stores that don't care too, but there are a lot of majority of them are the younger people that think, well, I only live once. Yeah, well, you know what? You'll be alive next year, hopefully, and you can do it then.
Yeah. And the whole thing, I've got some friends on Facebook and they're like, I quit my job. I'm staying at home. And I had posted that earlier today, as you've seen. And I had a friend, she messaged me and she's like, I can't believe you would post shit like that. And I'm like, what? That I'm telling the truth, that, this is what we're going up against. And we're seeing that the numbers are not as significant as they're making it out to be. Yes, the numbers are still rising, but the numbers are slowing as they're rising. It's not like it was where it was,
Yeah,
next
but
day
how
it
much of
drops a
that
little bit.
is because of the lockdowns?
Mhm.
That actually does have play a factor in the fact it slowed down in the rise, because at first they weren't locking down. You had people like going to spring break, they didn't care, they're spreading it, and then once they went back to their families, that's going to spread over the next few weeks. And now that they've got it semi lockdown, it's slowing down. But you got to remember that's probably a large part of that. So like
Yep.
Josh was saying,
Well,
fighting
here's-
it there, it could bring it back in full force, like the Spanish flu did that. It was going down, and then they said, well, it's looking pretty good, let's open it up, and then all of a sudden, like, millions
It
died.
gets worse.
Yeah.
And that's something that, I was thinking of. I'm like, all right, everybody's itching to start reopening the economy,
Right.
which
I do want to see something positive out of this, and it could happen. We could make America back to America again. Turns out this Wuhan thing, because of the whole controversy, if they slow down or even pretty much halt the trade with China, we could see America become America again and actually making American-made products in America once again, which would be great for us in the end.
here's what I look at it. If we're gonna reopen the economy, you would have to still halt the part of travel.
Yeah. Now, see, like Jacksonville Beach, it's only open to locals. Only locals. They're still keeping people pretty much. You come into the state of Florida, if you're willing to stay, you're going to be here for at least 14 days for quarantine. They're still doing that. Okay. Yeah, the beaches, locals only. Still have to practice the 10 within 6, so as long as they do that and people listen and do what they're supposed to do, things will be fine. You can do that. But my problem is, like Tim said a while ago, you got all these people they're suffering massively from cabin fever and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So here you go. It's going to be a flood.
You have too is depression and anxiety. The suicide rate, whether or not we've noticed it, we haven't been focused on it, but I guarantee you it's going up.
It has.
It's going to continue to raise.
Mhm.
Suicide, self-harm, or just people just downright going nuts. And
Yeah.
then when it's really going to be a problem more and more. And that's what I've been focusing on more so than anything else right now.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but Japan is now on
Lockdown.
national emergency over there.
Really?
Yeah. So it has officially hit Japan.
We think about how many people are in that small area. That's extremely dangerous.
Considering how big that island is, there's a lot of people that live on that island, and that island is really not that big.
And they actually still have rural areas where nobody goes. I mean, it's all condensed into cities.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, Japan is like like the technological
Yeah.
center of everything.
Yeah.
So Japan gets shut down. A
It affects
lot
the
of
world.
it's
It affects
going
the
to affect the technology world significantly.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
But see,
Because
once again, like what Tim said, this is a prime opportunity to open up those tech industries right here.
And keep your sales within the United States for now to stop the border transactions as much. And like maybe your neighboring people, like I'm sorry, Mexico might not be their favorite, but you know, they're our border. And you got
Mhm.
Canada. That stuff's gonna spread a little bit anyway. So
Right,
you get, I
right.
mean, not close down the close ones, but like the overseas travel and shipping and stuff like that. I could see that slowing down, and it would be good for our economy. Look what happened in Germany. We decimated their economy, and then look what they rebuilt.
Exactly.
And that
And
was
that's
our
what the
fault.
power that's what the power of people can do. If they put their minds to it and work together instead of this whole bipartisan bullshit that's going on right now, people need to learn how to work together. There is a compromise for any and every situation. I don't care
I've been
what
seeing
anybody
that.
says.
I've been seeing that in the vape community too. There's a lot of collaboration going on, and it's a lot of talk about trying to make things in the U.S. again, rather than even in you just vape, and that's just vape. You know, that's not the medical supplies and stuff, but just vape alone. Look at how much we relied on China. We noticed when the coils stopped coming in for
Yep.
some ohm tanks. It's like, wow, we really got to step up our game here.
Yep. I mean, the thing is, we have people that have the wits and everything to do the exact same thing they're doing. They've just got to come up with a plan to head all this together and do it right here. Samsung, we'll just say not Samsung, but you take something that's an American, like a phone, take an American, build an American made phone that is just as good, if not better than a Galaxy or an iPhone. There you go.
What America used to make is durable products at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
look at the cars. They might not have been the best gas mileage. They might have been, but they were durable. They lasted a long time.
Mhm.
Now we've gotten, so we're trying to make it cheap, but we don't have the facilities to make it cheap. We should be making better because that's what we were good at.
What the problem is with that is that Toyota is more American built than Ford or Chevy and Dodge combined. That's the sad part because everything is outsourced. Dodge, most of their stuff is built in Mexico. It
Yeah, but
needs to be built right here.
Toyota, I mean, it's built here, but that's our problem. We're getting all the parts from China.
Mm-hmm.
We need to
Mm-hmm.
bring it back into America, so we're getting our stuff here, so we don't have to rely on that. Because with this is an eye opener should be an eye opener. We need to work within ourselves. What if this happens again? We got to close our borders.
Look at the great, wonderful Bellingham Steel. Or not Bellingham. They've already opened. That's out in Whatchamaduchie. What's the one in PA? Bethlehem. Bethlehem. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that steel factory. It's huge. I mean, it was the mighty giant of the steel industry here. And why they shut that down, I mean, I know why they shut it down. So that because it was cheaper that they could get it from out overseas because, it was a cheaper product. So what does that tell you? It's not as durable as what we made here. You know, you can look up China right now and order steel girders for half the price of what it costs for us to make them. But the thing is, our stuff held up together.
We need to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. Well, we used to have a lot of tariffs on this, which balanced it out. The tariffs would balance out everything. They got rid of the tariffs, and China kind of took over our country as far as financially buying stuff.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's why
And
Trump
which is
stepped
great
in and
for the consumer directly, but in the end, something like this happens, it actually destroys our economy.
yeah.
Where it makes it impossible to get what we need.
And
Medical
people
supplies are in short supply because we can't get them. I mean, that's an issue.
and the ones that bothers me the most, these same people will sit there and say, we need to build American again. We need to have everything done here in America. But yet they get upset with Trump because he pretty much started cutting throats with China and Japan, stuff like that,
Hmm.
and raising all these tariffs and stuff. And people started getting pissed off. And I'm like,
I don't
what
want to pay
part of
this
this-
much for this. Yeah, exactly.
you know, it's like, what part of this don't you understand? Yeah, you're going to pay a couple of bucks more for it, but you know what? You're going to buy something that's going to last, for one. Two, you're supporting our own economy. You're not
Right.
supporting China. You're not supporting
You're not
Japan.
supporting just the higher ups.
Yep,
That's the problem.
exactly.
You're only supporting the rich when you do that, because they're the ones that have their hands in it. The people that, when they outsource and stuff, they're supporting them. It's
Exactly.
not supporting the common blue collar worker or white collar worker. You're not.
That's it. But people don't understand that. And it's like, I ask myself this every day when I see something like that. I'm like, are these people really that dumbed down that they don't pay attention to what's going on? They don't use common sense when they look at the picture as a whole. They look right here instead of looking out here, you know?
They're looking at their wallets and how much they can afford. And I'll admit, I'm just as guilty too. As long as they have cheap China products and it works halfway decent, I'm going to go there because I can afford it. But you know what? If you start raising those tariffs and balancing it out, people start buying American, and then eventually ours starts dropping down. But it's not dropping down because right now it's like buying a specialty item, you know, because they're not mass produced here.
Right. I mean, go look at your N95 and N95 mask right now. You get on Amazon if you can find them. Look how much they're going for, and look where they're coming from. Not coming from here.
Nope.
Yep.
We're still relying on China, the one that actually hid this for us, by the way, created this issue across the entire globe, and we're relying on them to bail us out. That seems kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best I could find, I found an N99 mask,
Stop.
and I think it's what is Calgary, Alberta? It's Canadian.
That's
Okay,
Alberta.
well,
That's
that's still
Alberta,
kind of
yeah.
home, you know.
Yes.
And I paid probably $7 or $8 more for it than what China had it. But the thing was, I can get it like 2 weeks sooner than when I could get it from China. So it's
Explain
like,
to me why shipping from Canada or within the U.S. and what I heard the other day was Canada to Canada costs more than shipping from China.
Mhm.
They're coming all the way from China. Why is that cheaper?
All right.
yeah, I mean, it's the little things like that you really need to stop and like, hold up, what's going on?
Drop some of the tariffs between the countries that are close. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't drop to Mexico too much because that does the same thing to us. But like Canada is pretty close to on par with us. Drop some of those tariffs, raise some of the other tariffs, balance everything out so the economy's even.
That's
Then
it.
everybody wins in the U.S.
And so does Canada, you know. I mean,
And
and
use
that's
that money to try and balance the budget better too. All those the tariff monies.
mhm. So did you get your checks this week, Tim?
I did.
Yep, I think we all did pretty much. So,
Yep.
I use it
took
to
it.
pay some bills off and get a few things I need for the summer.
And
yeah,
people-
go ahead, Chill.
And I used to be anti-Trump, and I'll tell you something though. Which other president or legislation would be able to pull off what was just pulled off?
Who would be willing to? Everybody else is humanitarian. We got to keep our ties with these people to make money here, that kind of thing. Who else is going to stand up? I cannot think of one person that wouldn't have given in to this.
Yeah,
other than-
he stood up and sent everybody $1,200. Like,
and he's trying to get another $3,000 or so sent to everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Dude.
If we're going to be closed for another month or two, he's going to try and get
Yeah,
more
and
money.
see, that's the whole thing. People don't understand. Don't get me wrong, Trump. He talks
don't
like
get
an
me wrong.
idiot when he's talking. When he's talking to us on the press conferences, he does. He talks like an idiot, and he does kind of overstep that boundary. I will say that.
He is.
But you tell me how Obama would have handled it, or how would Bush handled it.
Obama
How
might
would-
have done stimulus. He did a stimulus check once. He might go there, but in DC,
But I don't think it
that
would have
day
been as
when
much.
everybody had that flyover in DC, Obama wouldn't have done nothing.
No.
The fact that Trump put a halt to everything, wait a minute, we got to look at this a little more. It's like that's
We got to
surprising
give them a
crap.
fair. We got to give them a fair chance.
What he
And
did
he
in
did.
Korea, North and South Korea.
hmm
How many decades has that been going on? Where they
And
couldn't
how long did it
Well,
take him? What,
like
a few
it's-
months, and
Yeah.
everything was good.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's
that shit had
impressive.
been going on for. I mean, with Kim Jong Un, that had been going on for years. I mean, hell, as far back as what Bush, I think it's about when he come into office, and then before that, I mean, it was kind of calm. But back in like the mid '80s,
Reagan.
when his
That's when
dad, yeah, Reagan was like,
Reagan
"Hey,
fixed
dude,
it.
Ah,
His dad
Chill.
started screwing it up.
Yep.
Well, Bush's dad.
So, but I mean, it's just, you know, it is what it is. Trump, I'm like this. This is something we've never had to deal with, honestly, at this
no.
in this day and age. Okay,
Yeah.
so to me, how he handled it was the proper way, and it's like it's kind of there is a proper way, there is no proper way. One, we wasn't getting the correct information from who.
That's what I was about to say. He went with the first part where he made the mistake. He trusted the people that were telling him the stuff from like China and who.
Right.
He went by what they were saying, and then finds out they were lying to him. And people are still trying to blame him for that. It's like, well, if he doesn't get the truth, how's he supposed to make an educated?
If you don't
guess?
have the news, the information to feed this on, then what are you supposed to do? You know,
can't-
it's a game of touch and go, pretty much, because I mean that's what it was. We were just what information we were getting. That's what we were basing
He
how
was
we were
just
going to
as
handle
blind
this.
as we were.
Yeah.
So he did the
You know?
best choice he could at the time, whether he was being told,
That's it.
and he changed
Yeah.
it quick as soon as he realized it was wrong.
Mhm.
That's impressive.
You know, I mean, as soon as he started seeing cases started popping up everywhere, boom, here comes the lockdown.
I didn't
You know?
vote for Trump last election. This next
Didn't either.
election, I think I'm gonna.
You know,
I'm not
100%
voting for
on there, but
Biden.
I can't think of someone
Ugh,
better.
no.
I
I'm
can't.
not voting. It'd be a cold day in hell before I ever vote for Pedo Joe. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah.
No, not voting for that dude. Too crooked
Very.
and too old too. Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, you get to a point where you
guess it-
can't remember to tie your shoes when you go golfing.
Does he really have dementia?
I have heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I have heard that, which I think would be a deeming factor for somebody to run for president. If you have even the early stages, no.
No, you
To
should.
be honest with you, I used to think Trump had
to run
dementia.
4 years.
Yeah,
Just by
Yeah.
the way he acts.
I mean, which we pretty well know that Trump has got this election in the bag, pretty much. You know, yeah, there's a lot of people out there hating on him and stuff, but you get
There
them
are
to
people
stop and
supporting
realize.
who because they're mad because he cut off the funding just because Trump did it. It's like, have you not look at the facts? Who does not deserve our money or our support? They just don't. They haven't done anything for us, but possibly kill off a bunch of people.
Hmm.
You know, that's the whole thing. You know, and that's. I was talking with a friend earlier about, you know, what it was to say that, you know, we fly over to Belgium and Switzerland and fucking bomb the fuck out of UN. Just be done with it. They're like, hell yeah. And then this one person's like, oh no, because they're the ones that helps us around this world. And I'm like, girl, if you only knew some of the shit that they do. I mean, hell, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Look at how much of it became public.
Mhm.
Public knowledge.
Mhm.
The Hillary Clinton thing with UN. I mean, there's public knowledge of all this.
Yep.
Yet you still trust these organizations. The Valley
And-
thing, there's still like a lot of stuff on the internet pointing toward the Valley being because of vaping, nicotine. It's like, well, it's been disproven, but why is it
Stop.
still there? Why is it
Yeah.
still being talked about? Why is it still sometimes
Don't
in
say anything
interviews
else,
being
Mom.
brought up like it's real?
Why is that not even being? Okay, it's THC related. Y'all need to stop talking about the nicotine part of it
It
because
isn't
it
even
has nothing to do
THC
with
related. It's illicit, illegal drug related.
exactly. Exactly.
I wouldn't even consider that a THC issue. That is downright
Just straight up illicit. Yeah.
manufacturer creating something that isn't proper. It's like basically you're going down to the pharmacy and I'm getting my heart meds.
Mhm.
And because the pharmacy could get cheaper heart meds from the guy that makes them down the street and uses the wrong ingredients and I die or get sick, I'm not going to blame the medication or I blame the pharmacy for buying it, but I mean, I'm going to blame the pharmacy for buying, or if that's the case, or the person who made it.
And then the source, right?
I'm not, or the fact it's illegal. I'm not going to blame the medication for it. So.
And that's I mean, they even tried those 2 guys with dank vapes and they're sitting in prison right now. And it's like, that should be a determining factor where the guilt lays. But people are still arguing about it. It's like, look, they found them guilty for selling illicit, illegal shit.
People like Cuomo pushing it in a budget at 3 a.m. And if you didn't show, it's an automatic yes vote, which is bullshit.
Baker move.
Cuomo, if you're watching this, you can go
Cuomo's
choke on
worse,
a cow.
Cuomo didn't even give them a chance to convince them or trick them. He just point blank said, hey, by the way, if you don't show up at 3 a.m., it's a yes vote. That's how it got pushed through. It's like, just because someone's like 60, 70 years old and doesn't show up for a vote, all of a sudden they're a yes vote and it pushes through at 3 a.m.
And that's another one. They need to take him to Times Square, put up the old gallows pole and hang his ass because he is not worth it.
And he's trying to pretend he's a savior for New York for all this. Like, I'm not saving anybody. You are the creator of all
He was
that.
not even 10 days ago crying about ventilators and masks and all this PP stuff and not enough beds and all that. And then
he wants to open it up.
then was it day before yesterday? He wants to open the city back up.
Yep.
Now you tell me.
Has anybody seen actual footage from Elmhurst of what's going on right now in Elmhurst?
I have. There's a lot of stuff that gets tossed out, that gets thrown out there.
Really alarming suicide and depression, anxiety rate right now. And we're going to do forced prohibition and forced withdrawal in New York State because he thinks it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
The same thing with Governor Whitmer, or whatever her name is.
Whitmer, yeah.
She's shutting down the entire state.
She's going to end up being assassinated.
You
She's
can't
going to
buy
end up being
seeds.
assassinated.
In Michigan, it is now considered non-essential to buy seeds to grow your own fruits and vegetables to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You see all them people standing around the state house too?
Yeah, because she's a cunt bitch.
I grew up in Michigan and I've heard some stories like people, you're not allowed to do anything. They will pull you over, and if they see suitcases, if they think you're going somewhere, they're gonna pull you over, ask you questions, go through your stuff. Like, it's pretty expensive.
But see, I have to go through a lot of these stories, and I have to kind of eradicate some of the things that get said because a lot of it gets blown way out of proportion.
You know what they do need to enforce that's not being enforced?
Elmhurst deal is like, there was, like the picture that Josh showed us one time where it was 2 pictures of the same fucking operating room. One was in Italy and one was taken supposedly here in New York City, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Okay, that's revealing. That's like, what the fuck?
Trash in it. There was no question it was the same room.
But somebody can take a camera and go to any fucking hospital that's not busy in this country and say, this is Elmhurst Hospital. Look what's going on.
Yep.
And
unless you've been there, you wouldn't know.
Right. Exactly. That's why I'm kind of like,
I'll put it this way. I think the Cleveland Clinic just sent 9 doctors from Cleveland up to New York City. So if there's nothing going on in New York City, that wouldn't have happened, in my opinion.
Right.
But the thing that they should be enforcing, and they're not, is actual social distancing. You don't see anybody actually getting taken, saying, hey, you're not staying 6 feet away from people. You're plowing through people. Because I went to this, every time I go to the store, there's 1 or 2 people who's just like freaking out and they're just shoving through and pushing through people and like ramming into them and everything else.
Yep.
I had one like 20-some-year-old girl ran over her foot and almost hit me. And I said, you're going for a slap a bitch. And then she stayed away from us.
Right.
Luckily, she ran over the missing toe.
But yeah, you got people like that and they don't enforce that. They just put up the lines and think that's good enough. But why aren't the police trying to enforce that? Because
Yeah.
that's the issue is the social distancing. It's not so much
Yeah.
people not getting what they need or having to take it away from them. It's getting the people to obey the law in the social distancing aspect.
Right.
Yeah, and there was a story from the media about, but I totally believe this would happen. Somebody attacked somebody else because she felt they weren't practicing social distancing at 6 feet.
If you're
Like,
attacking them, you're not either.
I know people are losing their shit, man. Like, oh, you're not 6 feet apart, get away, and just like it's not your
I'll be
business.
completely honest. I'm surprised that girl that was in Walmart that day that she didn't get smacked.
Yeah.
I'm sure she didn't after I left, but she hadn't yet. But the way she was going, she was like, you could see the freak out. She's like spazzing out, her head's going all over. She had a mask on, and she just shoving that cart like it's a friggin' tank through
Yeah.
people.
I would smack her.
It's like yesterday I went to the vape shop, and again, all of our vape shops are still open. There's two of
Ours too.
them that's doing curbside, but
I went in.
out of 23 of them, that's like 2 of them. So the rest of them are just, dude, they're like business as usual. Come in there. Now they do have it marked inside. They do make sure you do the 6-foot thing and everything, which is cool. I went in there yesterday. There was a military guy in there actually getting some juice and stuff. And of course, you know, I stood behind him. He done his thing. And then I stepped up. As I started getting my stuff, then another person come in, then another person. And they just, they knew 6 foot. And I just kind of glanced back and that's what they were doing, you know. Matter of fact, it was a husband and wife. Now they stood together.
Yeah, well, that makes
And I
sense.
kind of understand that because you're in the same household.
Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
the same as
Stay
one
together.
person standing there. Is the way I look at it. It's like one person, you know. You're coming from the same household. Now, if it's 2 buddies from 2 different places, I'd be like, separate, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's down. What I'm seeing around here, people are pretty much except for at work. Howard's still. I mean that whole distancing issue at work lasted about 2 days. Now I just when I show up in the mornings, I just sit in my pickup truck and wait. But yeah, I mean, people seem to be trying to do it around here. You pull up to Walmart. I have yet to see any lines standing outside waiting to get into a Walmart or any grocery store for that matter.
Yeah,
Really,
I have yet to really see that yet.
but
They
a lot of people
corral you at
are
Walmart though. They corral you at the one here. You only can go in one part. They mark
Yeah,
you.
they
out.
have a bunch of carts set up and a
Yeah.
bunch of tape.
See, I don't know, and I have better luck just ordering my shit online and I go pick it up. The only issue I had last week was supposed to get 2 heads of cabbage and got 2 heads of lettuce. So yeah, I had 1 head go bad because
I'll be right
I don't eat that many salads. I mean, I eat salads, but 2 heads of lettuce, that's a lot of lettuce. But
But no,
Yeah.
it boils down to the fact that we need to change the way the economy works in the U.S. We
Yeah.
need to bring back those tariffs, start to balance things out so we start making stuff here again so we don't rely on another country so bad that if they screw us over, especially considering they're the ones that screwed us over,
Even though
we're
they're
relying on them and we're actually taking a chance at people are dying because of it. And we can't even like close down and be okay and self-sufficient. And then you got people like Whitmer, whatever her name is,
Rich and Whitmer
dropping off
Whitmer.
that, dropping everything in the state, not allowing you to get anything but groceries. Well, people need more than groceries. What if you need to go out and get something to heat your home or cool your home or filter your water at home, whatever? Because right now we have a limit of 1 gallon of water at Walmart. They'll let you sometimes get away with 3,
what?
but there's a limit. Well, we used to go like once every week or 2 and get water for the coffee alone, get like 6 gallons because
Yep.
our water's hard here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to go more often than we did before the quarantine. That's just backwards. So
Yeah.
now we found the local spring hole. Now we go there. But
That's it. That's like with us, you know, we have our water delivered. As far as like our drinking water and stuff like that, because our water's hard here too, and our water has a lot of fluoride in it. And I'm not really
I
down
won't
with
drink that if I can help it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
so. Cook with, clean with, whatever. That's one thing.
Yep.
You know, but yeah. I'm with you, Tim. You know, we need to bring everything back here and just do everything here. Get these old factories that have been shut down for years. Hell, open these damn GM plants back up.
Yes, in Detroit and Flint. Yes.
You know, just like in St. Louis. That's where they build the caravans and stuff. Okay, they shut half that plant down, and I'm like, why? A caravan is still a pretty popular vehicle. You know, it's a van. They sell good. There's what the Caravan, the Grand Voyager, and a Town and Country. They're all pretty much the same. One's Plymouth, one's Dodge, yada yada yada. You know, so it's like, okay, why'd you cut half that back? Well, the reason why they cut half that back is because people are buying fucking Quest vans from Nissan because they're like, it's a better product, it's cheaper. So I don't know.
We'll do it. I mean, I'm seeing the vape community, see it a little behind the scenes lately. It's starting to do that. People are starting to like go within the America instead of shipping stuff out to China or have it shipped in, doing the coatings here, doing the machining here. And it's starting to flip around a little bit. It's going to take some time, but I think by the time this is done, we're going to see a lot more American made stuff. It'll cost a little more, but it's made here.
You know, it's going to be built right.
Across the board on all the different industries.
And the people that open these American businesses up, that is the one thing they need to keep in mind. We got to build a quality product because not only are we representing ourselves as Joe and Blow's whatever, we're representing America. So you've got to build a product that's going to uphold and be durable and last.
And then you got the same people that are complaining about this, that want to buy the China products, that don't support America, that work in minimum wage jobs because they just, most of the case, some cases it's because they have to, but there are some cases where they're just comfortable with that. And all they do is complain and whine about that job. Yet they want like $15 an hour, you know, minimum wage. It's like, that's kind of not the way the economy works. That's a starting job. That's where you start.
If you want to make more, then you advance yourself as far as schooling
or
whatever.
You can't sit there and just go into this job and just complain and not show any work ethic.
And if you're comfortable at doing that job, then don't bitch about it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's my thing, you know. Like with my job, well, I mean, I do bitch about it, but that's just because of shit that goes on inside the job.
Everybody's going to complain about their job.
Right.
It's just the way life goes.
You know, but it's something I like. I enjoy doing. It's not a minimum hourly wage job, but, you know, could it make more money? Yeah. And I have made more money when I drove a dump truck up in Michigan. I was making nearly $10 more an hour than what I make down here. But it's like people they think, well, that's up north. Everything is so expensive up north. And I was like, not really, you know. I said, the thing is, you have people, and this has been proven, more people take pride in their job up north than they do in the south. And that's proven, you know. It's the whole mentality thing, you know.
I know that's proof. I mean, I used to know people that used to in the winter times, they'd go down south in the winter because their job was seasonal, and they'd go down south and make a killing and get called back because their work ethic was stronger than the people that work down here normally.
Majority, and these two guys right here can tell you, a majority of the guys I work with are guess where? Up north. You know, except for Jim. Howard's from Ohio. Chris is from Ohio. The other Chris, we have 3 Chris's that work with us. This Chris, he just started with us about 2 or 3 months ago. He is from Pennsylvania. James is from Pennsylvania. I mean, there's a lot of our guys are from up north, you know, and they all work great. All these ones that are from around here, with the exception of a couple like me and Joe, all they do is bitch, whine, complain, look for shit to bitch about, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, come on, guys.
Well, you got people too that, like the people that I was talking about, like minimum wage. They're working for minimum wage, working at like Burger King, McDonald's, you know, just entry level, fry cook, whatever, dishwasher. And they want that minimum wage to be $15. So you want to pay $25 for a burger? Because that's the only way that works.
Yep. That's the only way it's going to work, you know? And my thing is, and see, and people don't think about that. Okay, well, if we raise you up to 15, we're going to have to raise our $3 Big Mac up to $7, okay, to cover cost to pay you guys. And then we're going to end up shutting a lot of McDonald's down because you
People don't
want
want to go out to
$15
eat
an
if
hour.
they
So
can't afford it.
in the end, you're going to lose your job anyway because we have to figure out a way to
Or
keep
they're
this
going to
money
wind up
going.
working, and then they would complain, well, now we're working with a skeleton staff. They don't have enough people. It's like, well, that's because the budget went into less people because now you each are getting paid more.
Yep. That's the whole thing. That's why I was saying a while ago, people have got to stop thinking here and think out here. You know, you gotta look into tomorrow, not just this hour
Yes,
right
we
here.
saw those tariffs in China and stuff. They lessened them so that we could make China parts more available and make everything cheaper here. What it really did was create it so everybody buys from China and it gives them money. But what's that do for the American economy?
Mhm.
For the blue collar
Mhm.
worker or the white collar worker, there is no economy. The economy is like,
Right.
shit. Our dollar is
It's
getting less and less value every year.
Yep.
You know, we used to be, as far as with the Canadian dollar, we were always worth more than what the Canadian dollar was. You look now, I mean, up until here recently, and I
It
say
was
before
pretty
this,
dead even for a while there.
yeah, and there was a couple of stints where we actually our dollar got back to where it was above the Canadian dollars. Now it was back and forth, but for the most part, I mean, it's been pretty even. Whereas before, man, we were like,
Yeah, and see, the thing is, Canada and U.S. are so close, and now, especially the way they've changed in their own country for real now, it's actually balanced so much that shouldn't be a trade issue. That's where you let the tariffs go a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't let them
Yeah.
go for China, which is way over there, and they treat their workers like shit, and they don't pay them more just because we get stuff from them. They're still paying them nothing.
Yeah.
During all this, you know how many people probably just died from poverty over there or are sick from poverty right now because of the fact that they had to shut down? Because they can't afford, because they live from paycheck to
Millions.
paycheck,
I'd say millions.
and they don't care.
Once again, all that money goes to the elite.
Yep.
So I guarantee you that most of that money, the money that they make off these products, goes to these fucking triads and shit like that. These fucking fucked up organizations, just like Mexico with the cartel. Same situation. We all know that the triad runs China. We all know that the cartel runs Mexico.
Yeah, but
More
you know
so
what?
than
Funny, they talk about the illegal trade, like if vape went illegal and the cartel taking over. The cartel does take pride in the way that they work, though. You probably get good products.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
it's not like these people that are making it in a bathtub that cause, basically what caused the issue in the first place of the valley.
That's it.
You're not going to get that.
I mean, fuck, look at Bucho. Look at all those guys that, were shipping their drugs and shit over here. It wasn't cheap grade stuff. And that was the thing with George Lucas. Wasn't that his name?
George Lucas is the one that did Star Wars.
Frank
No, that's
Lucas.
right.
Frank Lucas.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm like, what about George Lucas? Like,
I'm like,
this
why am
is-
I thinking
When
George
you listen to
Lucas? I'm
Star
like, I know
Wars-
it's Lucas, but Frank Lucas. We all know, if you've seen the movie American Gangster with Denzel Washington, that was Frank Lucas. Okay, he made damn sure his shit was top-notch quality fucking shit. He'd fly over there and he'd find it himself. This is what I want cut up. This is what I want. This will be your cut.
And I hate to say
Have
it,
we
but
got a deal?
heroin comes across, when it comes from the cartel, it's pretty much pure. It's
Yeah.
the Americans that cut it and make it dangerous.
Yep, exactly.
Well, more dangerous. You can still overdose on it, but still.
Right. They're not cutting it with your fucking.
They're not the ones adding Ativan to it or whatever, and making it like extremely dangerous and
Right.
as much. Yeah. I mean, as
Fentanyl.
much as it sucks, the cartels actually got more integrity than our own government.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
fucked up.
That's it. I mean, it's a sad fucking world we live in, and people,
Yes.
that's what gets me. People are so fucking dumb to not see it.
Does anyone
mean,
else
I'll-
wonder whether or not the government had anything to do with it? Look what they've done with like the crop dusting thing of the marijuana. They've done other things like that. Are we sure they didn't create a valley? Can we
Exactly.
guarantee it? that they didn't
Wait, crop dust. Wait,
create
what are you
it,
talking about?
spread it
Crop
out there,
dust and
and then just
marijuana?
throw a couple scapegoats underneath and pay them a lot of money to go to prison.
Josh asked you something.
What?
You said about crop dust and marijuana. What is this?
Way back in what was the 70s, 80s? They crop dusted crops in Mexico. They paid the growers down there to allow them to add chemicals to their fertilizers and pesticides when they crop dusted over the plants, knowing that this was going to make people sick and knowing it was going to get sold to the U.S. anyway, so that they could use it for their I think it was the 80s, so they could use it for their anti-marijuana campaigns here in the U.S. saying it, this is your brain on drugs, so they could make it so marijuana looked dangerous. They actually purposely did that, creating a situation knowing so. And later on, it was said, the stuff was released, that it was proven that they did it for that reason. There was no other, it was truly directly to make Americans sick and die.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to legalize it at the time. And it was pushing that way until that came out. And now we're back to that point again. And it seems how marijuana is going to be legal. They need another evil entity. What they are focusing on, vape. They come out with a Valley, which makes no sense. And the FDA keeps pushing it. The CDC keeps pushing it. WHO keeps pushing it. And they still are pushing it as bad when they know cigarettes are worse.
Yeah.
I mean, would it surprise you that they have their hands in this Valley thing somehow?
No, wouldn't surprise me at all.
I'm just kind of looking over some of
Cuomo
these.
might have ties to the mob. I mean, that would tie into that too, with the way he's pushing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have no use for that fucking guy whatsoever. None whatsoever.
I don't like Baker at all, but I hate Cuomo more.
Oh, yeah. I live in Massachusetts, and I've been directly affected by his choices, and I hate Cuomo more. He's a monster. Like, he is a monster.
Cuomo.
Talk Baker into doing what he did. He came out there and had a meeting with Baker the week after Baker started pushing that campaign to push it through, and tried to do his thing where he, and the problem with Cuomo, the reason it didn't show up as much is because Cuomo's went to court and they stopped it and put a stop to it. That's the only reason Cuomo didn't do it first, is because they stopped it.
Exactly. Shell, you haven't been watching the the chat much.
I don't see any. There's nothing in there.
Yeah, there is. Let me get this for Michael real
Oh,
quick.
Michael's just popped up.
Michael, give me just a second and I'll get you that info, brother.
You guys had an agenda tonight and I threw it off. I'm sorry.
No,
this thing's just irritating me a lot, and I kind of let it out just now. It's all the things that I've been feeling lately and I've been thinking about, and I've been stuck in my head. Like, you've been working on conspiracy theories as well. You've been working on the paranormal thing, and this is what's been going on with me. I'm getting fed up with the fact that the picture's too clear and too well painted to be exactly what it looks like.
I enjoyed you sharing your thoughts. It was pretty cool.
Okay, I got one more thing I need to get for him.
But I'm probably going to get off here at 11 or so. I'm really not feeling well.
I got to hop in. I'm going to do that practice live with the other and see if we can get that working. I had dangle clacks last week. We had a reverb issue.
G'day, guys.
Bad one. G'day, guys. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Well, I'm going to try and see if we can get rid of some of the dangle clacks so I can get some of my lives going, or at least some of my, it might not all be lives, but I can get it so it's working properly with trying to figure out OBS. I might have to hit you up a little bit on that as you figure it out more, Adam.
Okay, cool.
But that way that you guys can talk about your paranormal thing, and I'll catch it later on the replay.
Cool, that'll work. And then there's that.
Thank you, guys. Sorry,
You're welcome.
No
You're
problem,
welcome,
man. That's all right. Yeah, we're going to get Michael in here for a little bit. I think he was just getting off of work, so probably have him kind of jump in. So we'll still have a few. We never did go into the Amityville at all.
No, I figured we did that for the last hour.
Yeah, we'll get Michael in here. Worst case scenario, me and Josh can carry it on and
Yep, we've done it before.
So.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
See
Take
you,
it
Tim.
easy.
Bye.
Bye. And then Let's see if he replies. I got to make sure for him to let me know. Yeah, we got way off there. I wasn't even paying attention to the chat or nothing. So we got a few people watching, but it's like we just kind of got on a topic and just kind of
Went
Kinda
with
went
What
it.
you got there?
huh?
I'm asking Josh what he's got there.
Those are cookies.
Can I have one?
I just had some Danish wedding cookies, which
There
are
you go,
nothing more
Josh.
than
Yeah.
they're nothing more than pecan sandies with the white sugar. That's
I
all.
love pecan sandies. I haven't had them in forever.
They're lemon cookies.
Ooh, I love lemon cookies. I like all cookies except raisin.
Raisin. Oatmeal raisin.
I'll do
Yeah,
oatmeal, but not the raisin.
I'll do oatmeal raisin like the pies from Little Debbie, but that's about it. I don't really like the oatmeal unless it's a Subway oatmeal raisin. But then it's kind of like I'm still kind of iffy.
Mhm.
Well, if I'm doing Subway cookies, I'm doing macadamia nut.
Yep, that's me.
Yes. They're peanut
That or the brownie
That's it.
cookies. That's about the only two I'll eat from there is those two. I hate the butter. I don't like peanut butter cookies that much. I really don't.
What?
I love peanut butter cookies.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Everybody, excuse me for a second. I got a little bit of a headache. Not bad, but just enough to annoy the piss
It's
out
the
of me.
weather. I guarantee you it's the weather.
Yeah, we've got some bad weather coming in, so it's the low pressure sitting on top of us. Got me hurting a little bit more than normal. Well, I guess I'm hurting. Ran out of water. I got a little bit.
Barks.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
want.
Barks.
I think I'll buy me. I got to order my stuff for Walmart. I got to do that. I think as long as I do it by 1 a.m., I'll still be able to pick it up tomorrow.
Should be able to.
But yeah, it's
So is there caffeine in this, or is it caffeine free?
There's probably caffeine in it if it's Barks.
that I don't think there is.
No.
Because it doesn't show anywhere on the can caffeine,
Then it should say caffeine free.
but it doesn't say caffeine free. Interesting.
Should tell you the content of the caffeine. They used to never do that. Remember, what was it? Jolt?
Yep, Jolt.
Contains no caffeine.
Surge?
No. I remember Jolt.
And Surge. You remember Surge?
Oh yeah.
It came back.
I'm honestly gonna say, I think I drank more Surge than I did Mountain Dew growing up.
Just got
I didn't
lots
drink
of
neither one of them. I've just never been a big fan of.
I'm a Mountain Dew guy. You guys know this. You
So
guys
is Erica and I.
You guys see how
I
much
just-
Mountain Dew I drink.
It's never been. I honestly, I don't like the taste of it. It just.
Eric always brings Mountain Dew. That's the only time I drink it. It's the best.
Yep.
So bad for you though.
So I'm trying to think what we can discuss next week after we get started on the topic for this week. What do you guys feel up to doing? And something that Shell knows because
She couldn't get into Lovecraft.
no, and then she crammed Amityville in at the last minute.
It's gruesome. Like it's really weird how the whole thing played out, but it's just so gruesome.
The whole thing is, and see, that's the thing. The gruesome part is vaguely going to be discussed. and it was vaguely discussed in the story. The whole thing of it about it, the whole story of it just happening and how he handled it after the deaths or after the killings, and how he cleaned himself up and went to fucking work. And then it's like, hey, I'm trying to call my parents. I can't get a hold of them. Where are they at? Playing stupid, and into the fact of they're finding the gun and all this, that, and the other. And then, which is an interesting thing. Did you hear that they found another gun that was identical in the water behind the house? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, it was more than just about the gruesome. There's a lot more to it than just the gruesome part.
Yeah.
That's why I said you look at the true story of it, then you look at the movie 1 and movie 2, and it goes so far as from the murders to it being a demon possession to the second family that moved into the house being demon possessed. And yeah, I mean, that was the whole gist of doing the story, not just about the gruesome part. The gruesome part is like that big compared to the whole storyline of it.
Yeah, the storyline is what makes it what makes it Amityville.
Right.
The murders is what makes it the horror.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll throw in the demon spirits in there, even though, he did claim that to start off. After they caught his ass, locked him up, he started using the whole demon possession thing to think he could get away with it. And it didn't work out to his favor. They're like, you're fucking stupid, dude. You're going to prison. So
I have an idea for next week.
The hell is
You gonna-
that?
I can't see it.
I can't see that either. Dogs?
Just tell us.
Alcatraz.
Ooh, Alcatraz.
It's popped in my head.
Big part
Very mysterious but interesting historic thing.
Yeah.
Capone.
Name some historical figures that's been there.
Mm.
I'll even say
Capone.
just name one.
Capone.
Al Capone.
We could
Clint
touch-
Eastwood's been there too. Actually, he did play. That was actually a true story that he played. I can't remember the actual guy's name. Where the three of them broke out.
That's Escape from Alcatraz, right?
Yeah.
We could cover Al Capone a bit too if you wanted to. But I'm really interested in Alcatraz. Like it's so like
Well, I don't know if you know, but there's a new Capone movie coming out.
Yeah.
With Tom Hardy as it's Capone. I think
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
from
Tom
the
Hardy's
movie
play. Yeah,
Capone.
looks like it's gonna be pretty good. It's been a while since they put out a pretty good old school gangster movie, so I'm kind of ready
Yeah.
for one. They've done
And
the more modern.
I've always been fascinated with Capone.
Yeah,
Always have been.
him. What's his name? Derringer.
Rick Derringer or Elliot.
John Dillinger.
John Dillinger, yes.
That's it. Yeah, those the types there of the 30s and 40s, the Bonnies and
Mhm.
Clydes, and the actual have either of you seen the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
been a
Yes.
long time, but yes.
I
Okay,
love
remember
that
the
movie.
guy that come in there and he was all like, "I'm fixing to set the bank to the Bank of Idapine." That was
That's Dillinger, isn't it?
no, that is Babyface
No.
Nelson,
Yeah, that's right.
which is
Babyface.
actually a real character. Was a real
Yes.
gang mobster.
And the thing about that movie is there's a lot of history to it.
There is.
Because when they go to the crossroads, you see Robert Johnson.
Mhm.
And if you don't know anything about the crossroads and Robert Johnson, that could be a whole another thing we go into some point. But
Yeah,
um,
that good old deal he made.
Yep. Crossroad Blues and the Hellhounds on My Trail.
Yep.
Those are some really good blues.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, that's one of my. This is great. That to me, that was always a great movie. It's funny and it has some accurate stuff to it.
Yep, that's what I liked about it. It had, and it was there was, other than them three, the whole thing was pretty true. Because
Yeah.
you talk about the flood of the Mississippi Delta and all that. That there was, they had planned for weeks and weeks and weeks upon this happening, actually months.
Well, you know what that movie's based off, right? Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah,
That's what the movie's actually based off of.
and I can't remember the writer of the movie's name. Actually, most of the excerpts that were pulled from that movie were from Homer's Odyssey. I mean, it's pretty cool. So, I mean, there's so many different things that we could talk about or whatever, just that we can go on. I'm still not hearing anything from. I
Michael.
just got a ding from somewhere. Let me see.
So, Shell, let me dive before you get off. Let me dive into something with you real quick.
All right.
So, remember how I was telling you guys I was going to do some video game conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
Well, there's an official conspiracy theory for Animal Crossing.
Oh, shut up. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin my Animal Crossing world. What is it?
I am. No, don't.
Oh, man.
All right. So, Animal Crossing
What are
deals
you
with
going to do to me,
death.
Josh?
It's death.
What?
Death.
What do you mean it's death?
Well, it's a form. Animal Crossing is actually a form of purgatory or hell.
It doesn't seem
Um,
like purgatory or hell. It seems like you're living
when
in the land.
when you're going, so let's say you meet Cap'n, and he takes you to your island.
Yeah.
Cap'n is that ferry that takes you into Hades.
Okay.
So everybody you're on trapped on the island that's purgatory. They're stuck there. That's hell.
But why
Right.
do they leave sometimes then?
They don't. When they leave, that means they're gone. They're dead.
Okay.
You just ruined a childhood game for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like video games, you don't think there'll be that type of conspiracies with it, but there are really some dark conspiracies when it comes to video games that when paying no attention to, like Animal Crossing, you would have never connected the dots with that.
No, it's a very peaceful place. Where'd you get that information from, out of curiosity?
From like 10 different sites.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did I just get a notification? I heard a notification go off. Was that one of you guys?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Oh, that wasn't me. No. Can I unlearn this, Josh? Thank you.
Well, now you know.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna
And
not.
again, there's no truth to it.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
know.
truth to that. The developers come on and said, "Oh, this is true." They haven't come out with that.
Yeah. It's interesting though.
But here's what has been confirmed: Super Mario Brothers 3
My favorite.
is actually a play.
What?
So think about how Super Mario Brothers 3 is set up. Okay,
Yeah.
it's set up like a play. And it is confirmed Super Mario Brothers 3 is actually a play. That has been confirmed.
Second.
Damn. Okay. I heard Mario has a dark side too.
Yeah. Mario does have a dark side, but I can't find that theory anymore.
That Wario.
All right. My mod is at the Anaheim, California distribution center.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's en route.
So another theory, Pokemon.
Oh, here we go.
Pokemon. Red and Blue. Those were the first game, by
Mhm.
Gen 1.
May have heard this.
That actually takes place after a war.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Pokemon is a post-war game. Yes. That is not confirmed. That's just a theory.
Right.
But
Did you hear PETA got mad at that game and they created they tried to create their own the PETA version of Pokemon? That
Oh,
shit was crazy. Didn't get very far, but they thought it was inhumane to capture animals. I'm like, really, guys?
I don't know.
Adam's not really a Nintendo Pokemon Animal Crossing gamer.
I'm not really a gamer.
no, Adam's really not a gamer when it comes to it.
No. And especially if you start talking about something, it's like, okay, I'll go with that.
Are there any conspiracy theories with GTA besides it being screwed up?
Yes, Al Capone runs it.
Kevin was saying
The
the
only
island
one-
looked like Cape Cod.
The only one I've seen. Hold on, let me find it. Bear with me. No. Lavender Town. Did you guys hear about Lavender Town with Pokemon?
No.
I know Adam, you wouldn't have.
Mm-mm.
So in Japan, when you go to Lavender Town on the
Excuse me.
red and blue,
Yeah.
it's a very eerie style music. Well, over in Japan, there's probably about 20,000 deaths caused from suicides caused from that music.
What?
Yeah.
That reminds me that
Again, there's no truth to that, but that's what's been reported, but it hasn't been confirmed that that music actually has caused people to go insane.
wow. I also have another topic for another week, but it might be too creepy. What's the name of that forest in Japan that nobody wants to go to, and if they do, it won't be good?
I do not know.
Talk about the one that they did the movie about. Wasn't there a
Yeah,
movie about that? Wasn't it like called The Forest or something? Hold on.
Yeah, once you go in, you don't come out. Whether by choice or not.
Yeah.
It's in Japan. I can't remember the name of it. Pretty eerie.
It's on Mount Fuji. It's the Aokigahara Forest.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. I just remember the movie, and that was a fucked up movie.
What movie?
The Forest.
Oh,
It was done in 2016. It's not that old.
no, not at all.
Might be free on Netflix. Actually, it's on Netflix and Prime and Vudu, iTunes, Google Play. Cool.
Yes. So, Shell,
Yep.
to answer your question about GTA 5, there's one big conspiracy with it. Michael's character was originally from Grand Theft Auto 3 as a different character altogether. Adam, did you ever play Grand Theft Auto 3?
Yep.
Do you remember Quad Speed? That's again not confirmed, but the theory is that that's actually Michael from GTA 5.
Makes sense though if you kind of think about it. Pretty crazy.
Because people see where the scarring is on Michael is the same scarring that Claude get from GTA 3. So
All right, Michael, where you at, buddy?
Hey, Adam, you changed my name.
Who? Not me.
Yeah, the single bill coil.
No, that's
I know, but it still looks like a coil to me.
well, it's referred to as metal fingers. If you type that in and look it up on Google, that's what it'll tell you. Metal up the irons. Metal music, of course.
interesting on that one.
What?
Princess Toadstool Peach is Bowser Jr.'s mother.
Wow.
So
Say
what's
that-
on your
Say that again.
Princess Toadstool Peach is Bowser Jr.'s mother.
That's some. What?
Look at it now, Shell.
Hey, that's my. That's yeah.
Face
How-
palm.
How'd you do that?
Copied it from Facebook.
That's awesome.
And if you really want to get stupid with it,
I just like something different every week.
why did I do that? Let me go over here. Let's do it this way.
Here's another thing. Donkey Kong
Oh God.
killed Mario and Luigi's father.
How? Who even sat there and came up with that conclusion? Like what? Who even thinks that deep into it? It's Mario. It's Donkey and Mario and all those. Wow.
Dr. Mario is the third Mario brother.
Oh wow.
Now
Well,
look at your
they-
name.
Well, they did fall a lot. What the? Oh, that's awesome. How do I keep that forever? I want that one right there.
Secret.
Shit.
Oh, I see.
You go to
question marks.
megacooltext.com. You can do all kind of shit.
It won't let me copy it.
Hit rename, open it up,
I can't. My computer won't let me.
and you hit Control, Tab, and C at the same time.
Oh damn. It's been a while since I've done this. Control Tab and what else?
Oh God.
Control, Tab, and C. C stands for copy.
Yep. See if it works.
Then to paste it, you do Control V. V. V.
B.
Yes, Mr. Josh.
So I got one more Animal Crossing one for you, Shell.
Oh God. All right.
Child kidnapping and slave labor cult theory.
Oh my God.
So it says here, the Animal Crossing series may seem to be a child-friendly game. Blah 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 blah. In fact, and the animals do indeed kidnap young, naive children, and then place them into slave labor, pretending to kids that it was really a fun-loving community. The two evidence for it, as I told you, Captain, where he takes you to it,
Yeah, yeah.
Tom Nook and the Never-Ending Debt. In addition, the player was introduced a raccoon character named Tom Nook, which leads you to work with him to pay off your debt that never ends and always increase,
That's true.
which may be reference to a child slave labor to make matters worse, the other animal residents never let the player leave their community. In fact, they consider to be temptations, luring children and tricking them to think they were in a normal, peace-loving community.
Whoever came up with that needs to get a job or something. Wow.
I
Yeah,
had to change your name back because it wasn't displaying on YouTube properly.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
had like CH and then star, 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 and then an M and
Yeah.
star. So I changed it back to normal. It was cool looking though.
Yeah, I liked it.
Michael, where are you? So anyway,
anyway. Polybius.
How do you guys feel about Alcatraz?
I mean, like doing the research for you, mean?
Yeah, we can get kind of like into a few of the major people that went
yeah, the
there.
only thing is it's not. I mean, we would have to put something else with it. Seriously.
Yeah, it's not long.
Because there's not a lot of great detail about it.
What about another abandoned or another crazy haunted fucked up jail somewhere?
Ohio State Reformatory.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Liz
no,
Borden. That's a messed up one too.
Lizzie Borden's a very messed up story.
Mm-hmm. Helen Keller is too. Lizzie Borden's really, really, really.
Yeah, that was wild.
Great band too, by the way.
Although I would think Amityville's a little bit more worse than Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I mean, even though Lizzie Borden was a little more relentless on stopping the whacking,
Mm-hmm.
Those 6 murders are kind of more haunting.
Yeah. I mean, the way she killed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Ron Jr. just used a fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on just a second. All right, cool. Let me make sure I don't have to invite him in. I hate this. Yeah, with the axe and everything. I mean, yeah, I mean, even in the movie, the first movie with George Lutz, where he's dreaming that he's literally taking that damn axe and splitting fucking Kathy. And right as he hits her head, you see a little bit of blood spurt out, but he wakes up. I've always been curious about the 3:15 a.m. deal. That's always been kind of interesting. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Might want to fix your lighting. You're kind of dark.
Yeah, he's okay. There we go.
What's up, ladies?
What's going on?
You see it, man. You see it. Same
There we
old,
go.
same old.
Oh,
We were just getting ready to finally start talking about Amityville.
neat.
So yeah, it's
hour and a half later.
yeah.
I mean, but we kind of been talking about it here and there throughout the show.
Right.
We never really just stayed on the subject. It's always like,
Yeah.
We kind of
this,
touched a
and then
little
we
bit
go
on.
over here. Yeah,
We did
Yeah.
the video game conspiracies.
yeah.
The yeah, we were gonna talk a little bit about how Ron DeFeo and what is that on your shoulder?
What a rat.
That's a rat.
Oh, cool.
Rats.
What's his name?
I was about to ask.
This is Spaz.
Spaz. Hi,
Yeah.
Spaz.
All right.
Very cool. Very cool. He looks comfy.
If I had
Yeah,
a rat
I don't
on-
have my hair down. Otherwise, he just.
Get all
if I had a
nestled up in
rat,
it.
Yep.
I was gonna say if I had a rat, I'd name him Copia.
Ratatouille.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Adam
yeah.
gets why. Adam gets why I would call him Copia.
The yeah, the whole Ooh. What was that movie? Willard.
Willard, yes, with the rats.
Yes, where he had mind control of them and shit. That's another one we could talk about at some point. Shell, I don't know if you would like that movie or not.
Well, maybe.
It's an old movie. It was done in what? Late 60s, I guess.
They redid
older.
it. They redid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
With,
familiar with that one.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
This dude, he was kind of a loner. You know, he lived in this apartment, or did he rent a room? I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, these rats just kind of like, it was like he had love for them, and they all just kept coming and kept coming. They coming from different parts of the city and the country and coming to his little room, and then it's like all of a sudden it's kind of a fucking Pinky in the Brain shit. We're going to take over the world. It's pretty good though. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, the whole Amityville, as far as the actual story that took place, was messed up enough in itself. If they just had made a movie about that originally, I think that would have been good. But then again, it turned out okay with the first and second movie. I don't count 2016 Amityville Horror as a movie because it blew ass. I didn't like it. Wasn't even the same house. They tried to make it look like the same house, but it was not even the way, like I said, the Florida room, as you would call it, up north, a lot of times they wrap around the whole bottom level of the house.
Yeah.
How that was. The Amityville house is not like that. It just had 2 one-story rooms on each end of it. And it still does to this day, even though, you know, they have moved it and everything. Matter of fact, I'll show a quick little snippet here. This is the actual footage of the murders had taken place. As you can see, this is at night. The murders had taken place the night before and into the early morning. And then
Yes.
Ron Jr., after he killed his family, went to work. He was acting concerned. His parents wasn't there at work because his dad owned a car dealership and the entire family worked there. So that was, you know, legitimately able to work. So he's telling his friends, I'm calling my parents. I can't get a hold of them. They're not answering. They're not at home. Have y'all seen them? And just, you know, playing it off. Well, then he goes to a bar. A friend of his comes there and he's like, I can't get a hold of my parents. I've been trying to get a hold of them, you know. So his friend goes to the house. This is a story according to Ron DeFeo Jr. Friend goes in the house and he sees a dead body. He comes back to the bar and tells Ron Jr., your parents have been murdered. They're all face down in their beds with a single shot to wherever part of the body. I think the mother actually got shot twice. So of course, then the investigation started. This is at the time when they got the police involved and everything. And as you can see in the picture here, that's who all's there. What year was this? 73, I think, something like that, somewhere along in there. Excuse me for not knowing the exact year. But anyway, I mean, that was pretty much the
74.
74. So you look at it, it happened in 74, and then 3 years later, not even 3 years later, in early 77, they made the first movie, which was James Brolin and Margot Kidder, who played as the Lutz family that had moved into the house after the murders. And it's supposedly the house was possessed. It had demons in the cellar and this, that, and the other. If you all seen it, you know how it goes. And within 30 days, the family ended up leaving the house. Now, as far as the true story, the Lutz did move into the house. Okay, that part is true. But they used this demon possession theory because as soon as George moved in, he got to where he didn't care about his job. He owned a construction company. And when they bought the house, they were already, the business was about to fail. So at this point, they're realizing we can't afford this house. I've got to file Chapter 13. This is what's going on. And I think, honestly, they played this off so they could get out from under this house. That's my theory. Now, whether there was actual demons there, I guess there's really been no proof. We've had the Lorraines. Was that? Yeah, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Very well known for paranormal investigations. They've done the like the Perron family, which is the movie The Conjuring and all that. They've also done the Annabelle studies with the Raggedy Ann doll, which is actually a Raggedy Ann doll that was possessed and not this fancy looking porcelain doll that you see in the movie. They've done. I mean, these people are well known in the paranormal field. So if we kind of go, I'm trying to pull out of there for a second. We'll just kind of talk for a minute. Pretty much that's what the first movie's about. Lutz moves in, crazy shit happens. 3:15 a.m. rolls around every morning. George wakes up. He's freezing ass cold. He keeps adding wood to the fire, chopping wood during the day, roasting by the fire at night, and then going to bed and waking up 3:15. That's pretty much the whole cycle. And then the movie ends with them getting out of the house as blood is seeping out of the walls and stuff. And there's a big pool of blood down in the basement. In the movie. So, and then they come out with a second
Again,
one, which
that's going to be more on a Hollywood aspect of
right.
blood dripping. Because me doing paranormal investigating, I had never once ever heard of blood dripping out of a wall or anything like that. It's just not feasible.
Right, exactly.
It's raspberry jam.
Wait, we've been jammed. Lone Star.
Raspberry. Nobody gives me raspberries. Lone Star.
And Shell's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You need to watch Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
I've seen it's just been a long time again.
That's
I forget after a while.
Who's in charge of these assholes? But so then the second movie kind of goes into the actual true story of the murders. But they kind of added a few twists to the movie. It's carrying on like Ron DeFeo going to work, yada, yada, yada. His parent or his dad yelling at him and beating him and all that stuff. And just Ron Sr., he was an asshole, straight up. He had this real bad temper. It could fly off the handle. So very abusive to his family, not just him. He was abusive to every one of them. But in the movie, Ron DeFeo had relations with his sister Dawn in the movie. Now, I don't know if that part was true or not. I'm going to guess Hollywood again, kind of ramp up the ratings a little bit. But there is a deeming factor about Dawn in the real murders. Okay. What brought the attention to the coroners is the fact all these bodies were face down in the bed, okay, when they were killed.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's so sad for the 3 little kids that got killed, you know. And we're talking like age ranges from like 5 to 9. Even they were killed. I mean, it's sad. But they were all arranged that way. But the thing is, you could tell they were shot while in bed because of, guess what? Your matter, your blood splatter that goes everywhere. When they went to Dawn's room, there was nothing on her white headboard, nothing on the wall. It was spotlessly clean. They even checked it, did not find anything. So they were kind of led to believe with their investigation that Dawn helped Ron Jr. kill the family. And then in the end, he turned the gun on her and blew half her face off. So it's like, how much more twisted can you get? You know, because to me, that's pretty sick, you know. Or like you were saying earlier, Josh, Lizzie Borden is another story that's really messed up, but I don't think it's near as messed up as this one is, you know.
No. No, to me, the only thing that's messed up with Lizzie Borden is just how many times she did it to the parents.
Yeah.
That's
Over
the
and
messed up
over.
part. That's,
Yeah.
well, you know, 1 or 2 whacks. You know, if you had the strength, 1 or 2 whacks will do it.
Her dad, there was not even hardly a head left. Did you see the actual pictures of it? There was like
I
just
didn't.
this.
I didn't.
There was
I did
this
not,
much
and I
left
don't
of the
want
head.
to.
It's bad. There was like only this much of the head left that she had
Damn.
chopped off. I mean, it was bad. The mother, you couldn't. She was pretty bad too, but now she was laying on the floor, weird, face down in the floor.
All right,
Her
good
dad
night,
was
guys.
laying.
Head to
Her
bed.
dad was laying on like this.
All right, night show.
Night.
Good night. So
Yeah, I think we're getting a little more gruesome for her. She's like, I'm done.
yeah. Well, that's why I was
She
telling her, I was
really
like,
on
you
a
know,
good stomach.
yeah. I told her, I was like, this is not really the whole part, and I'm not even talking about the Amityville Horror. This is Lizzie Borden. We're just kind of glancing over it, but it's
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's you look at the actual story and how the fact that, you know, if y'all remember that Ron DeFeo did try to play off in the real murders that he was demon possessed because he knew his ass had been busted at that point. So he thought he could play that and then claim insanity and get away with it and be in a mental ward for a few years and then be back out in the public. Didn't happen. They didn't buy it. They're like, no, fuck you. You're going to jail. He still sits there to this day. So, matter of fact, let me show you real quick. We'll go here. We'll take a good old gander at good old Mr. Ron DeFeo Jr. There he is. I mean,
So-
he looks like he could be kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And then,
So he is serving 6 25 life sentences.
Yep.
He ain't never getting out.
no, he's going to die there. That's him now. I think this was taken last year, maybe the year before. I can't remember. It's either 18 or 19. But he almost looks like a Charles Manson. I mean, you can just
Yeah.
you can look at a person.
I kind
It
of
look-
get that vibe off of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
Especially-
all you have to do is just put his hands up on the side of his face, and you got literally the screamer.
yeah, exactly. And here in this picture, here's good old George and Kathleen Lutz, aka James Brolin and Margot Kidder in the original movie, with the infamous house in the background. And see, that's the whole thing. When you say Amityville, they don't think about Ron DeFeo or George Lutz. They think
The house.
the house. The house. Now, it's a creepy house. There's no two ways about it. You can see from here, and I'm going to bring a point up. You can see right here in this picture. First floor, we know there's a basement down here. Then there's the first floor, second floor, and then where those crazy quarter moon windows are or were, there's your third floor. Now
Mhm.
you tell me that the parents' bedroom was either this side of this part of the house, or because the other side looks just like this, but without the windows. Okay, the other side has this addition on as well. One of them was the parents' bedroom, so they were shot there. And you tell me with a shotgun that up here in the third room where Dawn, or the third floor where Dawn was, that she didn't hear nothing and slept through 5 shots, or actually 6 shots, I think.
Because the mother got shot twice, right?
Yes, Dad got shot first, then the mother. He shot her.
Yeah, it would be 6.
Well, it would end up being a total of 7 shots because all
Well,
6
once
got
one,
killed.
one yeah, once Dawn died, that would be 7.
Yep.
But if she was the last one alive,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been 6.
But my thing, see, that's the whole thing.
And
You're up
a
here in this room.
shotgun is not quiet at all.
No.
You can
Good
hear a
insulation in the
You
house.
can hear
Yeah.
a shotgun. Okay, I'll put it this way: if you're outside and somebody 3 streets down shoots a shotgun,
You're going to hear
you're
it.
gonna hear that shotgun go off.
Right. And that brings up another question. All in this area here, you see back here, there's a shed to something that might belong to this house, to 112 Ocean Avenue, or yeah, Ocean Avenue. But if you've looked at the pictures, there's other houses that's fairly close by, not crazy like right on top. It's like they're on like a half acre, 3/4 acre lot, but there's
But
houses all around them, and it's like
they should have been able to hear the shotgun blast.
you figure after about the third shot, people's coming out in their yard looking around.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, what time did the murder take place? 3:15.
to be honest with you, I don't know, but I'm going to guess probably around 3 o'clock, somewhere, give or take. That might have been the time, and that might have been the time that they added to this movie where James Brolin was waking up every morning at 3:15. So that might be. I honestly didn't really look into that part, but I know it was very early morning because after he killed his family, Ron Jr. took a shower, got rid of the bloody clothes that he had because of Dawn, him moving Dawn. Okay. And then showing up to work. And he had to be at work at 7. So he was there at 7. So I would say anywhere between like the hours of like 3 and 5. And I know probably if you think about it, how long would you think it would take to kill 6 people? Considering they're just not
An
waking
hour.
up and they're laying in a bed already.
About an hour.
And I'm just, total guess.
Because
So,
you got to think about it. What was it? Obviously the single barrel, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to think about it. You would have to probably reload after every round.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably about an hour.
And even if it was a double barrel, it's like still after 2, you still got to load it, so you still got that time consumption of reloading. But they had pointed so many things out, saying that Dawn helped him kill the family because they found gunpowder resin on her hands. But the coroners were trying to say, well, when a shotgun is shot, which is true, that gunpowder, there is some that does not get ignited and is just discharged out the barrel. Okay. I would think it landing somewhere around here, because that's where they said that the gunpowder was on Dawn, was right here. So that's perfect for fucking with a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Pulling the trigger, loading it, unloading it. Majority of the gunpowder is going to be right here. You're going to get it right in here and on your hand as well. So Do I believe that Don had a part in it? I think so. I really do. I think he had a big part of it.
So what? So let's go down this little bit of a rabbit hole with it, I guess.
Okay.
What might have caused Dawn to snap?
As far as her helping him,
Yeah, as far as killing the rest
I-
of her family. Well, what caused her to do it?
I gotta, because there was also, and DeFeo Jr. had brought this up later in time. I'm talking like 20 years later, that he had control of Dawn. He used to supply her with heroin. She wasn't doing as much, but the fact that he had her believing that he had total control of every situation, she looked up to him more so than her dad. So it was kind of in that aspect.
Okay.
You know, help me because this family is evil. So I need you to help me take care of this and we'll be free. Shit like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking, you know.
Okay.
Excuse me. I don't think Junior was as close to his other siblings. Like, of course, they were younger, but I
Yeah.
don't think he was near as close to them as he was with Don. Could that whole theory thing about them sleeping together be true? It's possible. You know, I mean, the man's willing to kill his fucking family. I'm sure he'd be willing to fuck his sister. I'm just saying. You know? But
Yeah.
there's another thing I want to bring up, and this kind of goes back on the Warrens that did the paranormal investigation. Let me pull it up. I thought I had it pulled up. Let me see if I can. Y'all may have seen this. Okay.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of research on the Warrens.
I'll try to bring up a couple of different pictures. This might be a little bit better picture. Yeah. It's two pictures of the same image, but what I'll do is, excuse me, I think I'll be all right. Had a sneeze coming, but anyway, let me pop this up real quick. Okay. Do a quick screen share. Okay, this picture was taken in the Amityville house years after.
Okay.
Is that a plant or buckshot on the wall?
That right there, that's
Yeah.
a picture. That's a picture of a lion.
No.
It's like
Okay.
looks like a drawing, maybe. But if you look
So
right
I'm
here,
seeing the head. I'm seeing the head.
yeah, and with what I'm seeing, you can actually see the whole body here,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see the head like he's poking out of that room. Supposedly, according to the Warrens who took this picture, this was the actual little boy's room, and that's him. Okay. Here's another one. It's not that good of a picture. Let me see if I can. Maybe this one will help a little bit. Oh, that one's so small. Let's do this one here. Okay. This will be right here. Okay. As you can see, once again, here's a little boy. Okay, it was
Yep.
76 professional photographer Gene Campbell set up a camera on the second floor landing of 112 Ocean. It's Avenue, not Drive, in Amityville, the location of DeFeo murders 2 years earlier. Many rolls of film were exposed, all showing nothing out of the ordinary except for this one frame. Is this ghost of John Matthew DeFeo, which was, I believe, the youngest boy.
Okay.
So, as you can see, there's Matthew, or John, I guess, whatever they called him. We'll call him John. And then if you look at that one, there is a little bit of resemblance.
Mhm.
It's hard to
There
tell
definitely is.
because this photo is really bad. Even if you look there and then look there, kind of, oh shit, I erased it, but it's okay. With the way the hairs kind of swoop to the side, you can see that it's swooped to the side there, just like it is here. So I'm just kind of curious as to, is that really John Matthew?
I mean,
And you know as well as I would, it's a good chance.
so looking at that photo, as long as it's in the 70s, so the chance of those photos getting doctored in the way like nowadays it's so much easy to fake a photograph.
Right.
And yeah, in the 70s, you can still do it. It was a little bit harder at the time.
It was a little bit harder and it wasn't as good. Today you
Yeah.
can, Photoshop does wonders,
Yes.
but it's like, matter of fact.
So as far as me looking at that, that's definitely a aberration. There's definitely something there.
Right. And when the Warrens come in to do their investigation, they had even documented a lot of the stuff of the different things they done. They set up a lot of cameras and your EMF, all your readers and everything, and what they had back then, which was not much. They had a little bit of paranormal investigating tools, but not like what we have.
Not anything
today.
like the way we have today. We don't,
Right.
they didn't have DVR systems. They didn't have. they were able to do EVPs back then,
Right.
but not through the recorders that we have. The small little recorders.
Were they like through like AMF and radio type things?
Yeah, and there was a lot of frequencies, different megahertz frequencies that they used with like old style, like your CB base stations that people set up in homes to talk to China and stuff too. They actually were able to take some of those and create a unit where they could read these, get these signals from. So yeah, and even today that technology is still for the most part kind of the same. It's just been enhanced, So kind of like if you take the first Poltergeist movie where they come up and said everything, that's kind of what they had back then, because Poltergeist was what, 82? So we're not even 10 years. So, camera in every room, couple different angles and stuff. Wasn't there even what was that what night vision? It was some kind of infrared that they used. I can't remember what the actual device was called, but
I know like now it's like there's thermal, there's infrared, there's night vision.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these different ways
Supersonic?
to do.
Was it like audio based?
There was also audio recording equipment for it as well. And they were set at different frequencies where it would pick up, like if a squirrel outside walked over a twig, you could hear it. It was that enhanced even back then that it would pick up stuff like that. But so many things like the house settling, creaking, was led to believe that was ghosts doing that, which in reality was just the house just settling. Houses are,
every house settles at some point in time in its life.
Yeah.
You'll hear like our apartment settles.
Yeah.
It sounds weird as all hell. It does.
Yeah.
Because it starts creaking and cracking and stuff like that.
But you get acclimated to it because you know what it is,
Yeah.
So, but their reports were for what it was in that time was pretty good, They did get some recordings and stuff. That would be something that we could probably dive into as far as what the Warrens actually found. They sat down with the Lutz, and because the Lutz were the ones that called them and said, "Hey, we got some shit going on here. You need to come check it out, yo." So, there's actually some videotapes of them sitting down and talking with the Lutz. I think it's on YouTube that you can find.
It probably is.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
it's old enough now where it could be on YouTube. Yeah.
you know. You know, the whole movie thing was it was kind of like Poltergeist, and I think that's where Poltergeist kind of got the idea as far as the ancient Indians that were buried. There was an ancient burial ground where the ancient Indians of some age old fucking Indian tribe that was older than what we know of, like the Cherokee and stuff like it was an much older tribe. And that was kind of played in the first Amityville, because when they have that psychic chick come over there and they break into that little room that was blocked off, and she looks in and she's like, "Get out!" You know, that kind of even got tied into a part where it was an ancient burial ground, where they actually found most readings at Amityville as far as paranormal activity was where the boathouse was. And if you're standing out in front of the boathouse over to the right, close to their property line, there was more paranormal activity that took place there than in the house. But that's also where they found the other gun years later. I'm talking like 20 years later. This was in the 90s when they found this gun. It was just offshore, probably about 15, 20 feet. Same identical gun that DeFeo Jr. used. So now you're kind of like, okay, did these children and parents tie themselves to this gun because they knew that's what killed them, and that's why they were out there on the property instead of in the house? You know, because Josh, you know as well as I do, usually when there's a ghost in the proximity of where they are, that's usually where the incident took place. Their death. Usually where their death takes place, it's usually somewhere.
It's normal when we're not, to be more specific on death. Normally deals with murderers or something like that, where
Right.
that type of death. We're not talking about just
old age or whatever.
Old age, person dies in her sleep type of death. We're not talking about that. We're talking about like the ones that get brutally murdered, something like that. Normally, they're the ones that find something to possess, so that way they can continue living on in said house or property.
Right. And that's, I mean, I've always kind of looked at someone that has died like that, and they have found ghosts that were linked to a murder of some type or whatever. I firmly believe that that's why they're, I mean, they're there. They're stuck in between the realms. Some call it purgatory.
Limbo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty much limbo. So
yeah.
But I mean, it's Amityville is a pretty interesting story. A lot of people they focus more on the whole house part of it, when there's actually a good enough story that was created in Hollywood and the actual true story to make it be like, wow, But I don't know if you know this or not, Michael, but they actually moved that house, and they moved it just down the way a little bit. They got it off that property, but they moved the house, and it's matter of fact, here I'll show you what it looks like today. And there you go. That's it. If you remember, now keep in mind with the old house, you had those quarter moon windows right here, because there's the chimney. It was, if always keep in mind where the chimney is, because always on the other end of the house, it's always had regular windows like this, but it was only on this end that it had the quarter moon windows. Now, as you can see, they're just regular everyday windows. The steps have been done different.
I've always wondered how they move, like, because that house had a basement. Do they just close off the basement, or is there a way to move
I would
that
assume once they moved the house, they probably demolished the basement, filled it in, and if they built on it, or if it's just an empty lot now, I don't know. But I don't know once they moved the house if they put a basement with this house. I mean, I know this is north, so it's pretty popular to have a basement. So, and it's hard to tell because a lot of times you can look at the base of a house where the foundation is, and you can look to see if there's any venting or anything. You can kind of tell if there's a basement or not. There's so much landscape here, you can't really tell if there's anything there or not. So, but I mean, it still puzzles me with the whole not hearing the gunshot when, I mean, you look at this picture, and now I know this is not the original location of the house, but that house right there, and even when it was on 112, there were still houses that were
not that far. I mean, literally 112 to where that thing, and now to 112.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because if you look
maybe
up
300 feet, 300, 400 feet.
Right. If you look up, I'm going to actually show you. And let's just do this right here.
Street view. Oh, there's the house right there.
Yep. Now, supposedly it was moved from down. Let me look at the map real quick. Oops. Let me go back over here. Supposedly the house was like moved from here to there, some shit like that. But either way, you can look all down through here and tell that, okay, this one, and this was how the original property was kind of spaced out. Like I said, half to maybe 3/4 of an acre that the house sat on. Even though, look right across the street, not that far. You would think people would have come out of their houses looking around, wanting to know where these shots are coming from, because you know they're going to be loud right there.
I'm looking at the houses on this side of the road, like what we're looking at now.
Uh-huh.
They can easily hear the gunshots. Easily hear it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So my question is, if I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm hearing 3 gunshots, obviously there's more, but if I'm hearing at least 3 in this in this recession, something's up.
Especially in this house right here. Now, like I said, we understand, you know. Let me look up. Let me do this. Oh, this is something we might have to get into in another episode. Just kind of looking here, Quarantino, which was the son of Kathy Lutz. Now, if you remember, the kids that were in the first movie were actually her kids, and George married into the pre-made family. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So, this might be some. Oh my God! Seriously.
You have to sign up.
We'll discuss this on another episode. But as you can see here, he's ex-resident of house debunks much of Amityville horror. So that might be something. And this was 2005, so that might be something a little interesting to maybe look into. And I would figure that the kid was probably 10 then, so that was 77. He's close to my age, maybe a little bit older, probably in his early 50s, you know, so.
43.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Amityville has always been an interesting thing, more than the movie. And I know they made other movies like Amityville 3D, and after the second one, they just got stupid. And then they did the reboot with Ryan Reynolds, which I don't know if you've seen it, Michael, but I thought it blew ass. It was horrible. It was a terrible, and I hate that they used Ryan Reynolds for that movie because it sucked. You know, that's one of those movies like don't touch it, don't reboot it, don't do nothing, just leave it alone because it's perfect how it is. You know, and they go and screw it up. So, but yeah, shit like that always haunted houses always interest me, especially when they get a lot of attention from the public, like the Winchester House out in California. That's.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen that house, Josh?
Yeah.
Have you, Michael? I mean, it's
Mm.
Winchester is the people that built the Winchester guns. You know, back in the when they started, back in the mid to late 1800s.
Yeah.
It is a. Let me try something. Oh, we have a virtual tour, guys.
Yeah.
Online tour. Okay. All right. So what we'll do, if y'all are up for it, I'll just kind of share the screen and we'll just kind of walk through this a little bit. Hopefully, we don't want to do any shopping, but as you can see, it's a pretty big place. That's it right there. And it just goes
One
and
building?
goes and goes and
That's a
goes.
hotel, isn't it?
I think it. I don't know if it is anymore. I know it seems like at one time it was. Oh, you got to buy the video tour, but there it is originally.
No. That's how they get you.
Yeah. But the thing is about this house is, let me go into some of the images here. You go inside the house. Here, let's do this because you can see more of it.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, like this one here. This is a stairwell that just goes to nothing.
Yeah.
You can see the steps, and they wind, and you can see you going up. All right, and then let me go back. Let me slip back out of this picture here real quick. Oh, here's another good one. See, stairs that go to nothing. And that's how this was originally built. Okay. There were doors that led when you open a door, there was a wall there. And the theory was behind the wife of Winchester that she was so scared of ghosts that she wanted every possible way to be blocked off, other than the part she wanted this big, fancy, glamorous house. As you can see, she got, I mean, it was huge.
Oh, yeah.
So she
But-
wanted a house where the ghosts would get lost?
Pretty much. I mean, there was some strange things of like just an area that would have windows. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's kind of a small picture, but just you go up and the stairs would go, or a hallway would stop, and there'd just be windows all around you, and that's where it would stop. And I mean, it's like this one here. Here's another one. This one I don't quite understand because, yeah. Why is there doors? There's a balcony around this area. Doesn't really lead into anything that I can see. I mean, there's a wall right there underneath the glass, but where does it go? You can look here and see there's really nothing. So yeah, I mean, it's some weird shit that goes on with this house.
This fucking contractor was on acid.
Well, back then it would have to be just straight up opium.
Um,
I mean, and to me, I can't get over how big the house is and how it just doing the aerial overview. You can see it's a maze. It just keeps going and keeps turning and twisting. And, you got these big gables and steeples everywhere. And then before you know it, it's like, it's a fucking castle there pretty much. Bigger than a castle.
It's almost like Rose Red.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not, but
Wasn't John Ritter in that movie as well? I think he was. But that was
I don't
it was a
think
good
he-
movie.
Yeah.
I
Even
wish.
though it's fictional, but it was still good.
Yeah. I wish they would make a movie of From a Buick Gate by Stephen King. To me, that is one of his best novels. I love that movie. And basically, it's a fucked up twist of Christine, but much better.
Movie?
Huh?
Was that the cursed car?
Yeah.
Christine was
Okay.
Chris Carr, yeah.
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 So was the Buick 8. It was a cursed car. Supposedly, God, it's been years since I read it. What I remember, the owner of the shop murdered his employee by hitting him with the car, and the dude comes back and basically haunts the car and ends up killing the owner and all this. It's pretty weird, but and the car had sat there for years, and they reopened this mechanic shop and was going to get it. I think it was a family member passed down. It was passed down to whoever. They ended up opening it back up, and all this shit started like coming back to life again. So, pretty good book. I enjoyed it. It was one of the few books I read all the way through. So, I don't read that many books, but I listen to a shitload of audiobooks. Truck driver, that's kind of about the only way you could do it. Going down the road, and I love music. I live by music, but every once in a while, it's like I want to hear something different. I'm tired of
Yeah.
music, so I'll throw in an
I'm,
audiobook.
I'm honestly, I'm really glad how audiobooks took off.
Yeah,
Because I was listening to audiobooks before they were even a thing. Because growing up, my mom was blind. She would always have like, books on tape.
right.
And just listening to like 200 words a second just on a high speed. And it's just like, how can you understand that? And as I grew, I was able to understand it too. And I just hear audiobooks now and I'm like, this book is so slow.
Yeah, and it's like, come on. I tried, like with Shell, we were trying to get her to brush her up on some H.P. Lovecraft.
Mhm.
She started listening to the audiobook, and you got to understand the original audiobook of it. It's got this kind of drabby guy reading the
Yeah.
book, and he's very monotone, and I mean, it sounds like it was recorded in the
that's
40s.
something that when I sent her the HP Lovecraft stuff, I didn't send her any audiobooks.
Yep.
So, and there was a reason why I didn't send her any of the audiobooks, because for the complete Cthulhu mythos, 22 hours.
Yep.
That's a long fucking time
It
to
is.
sit there and listen to the whole mythos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And I mean, someone like me or Josh, we can we're kind of like, okay, we understand why this is kind of way the guy's reading, but that's the whole thing. It's kind of like reading it yourself. You're able to create a visual of even the guy telling the story that
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of creepy and just this old like hermit that's reading this, and he does go into detail, and I can't quite figure out what his accent is. It's not full on UK English. Maybe
It's definitely Mass, because all those majority of the novels take place in Massachusetts.
yeah. It's northeast for sure, and I'm thinking like Josh, it's maybe Mass.
Bostonian, I'm thinking more than likely, because
Yeah, and it's just the way
most everything that takes place in either Boston or Providence or
Mhm. But I mean, me and Josh kind of figure out, that's just part of how that audiobook goes because of this guy's voice. And Shell's like, I just can't get into it. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of dry and it's kind of drabby. I was like, but you just have to. I said, this this is one of those audiobooks where you have to sit and do nothing and just listen. You know,
Yeah, let your mind take over.
yeah, because if you don't, it's not going to make sense. You know, that's
Because
just how Lovecraft
that's
was.
the purpose of, and that's something that, hopefully Shell would have understood this, that she really would have did what I told her to do in the first place. She would have understood this a little bit better.
Right, right.
But it's all about eventually delving into a complete madness. You and when you read the books and stuff like that, you're going down into the madness hole that it's taking you, because obviously they call it Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
Cthulhu awakens. Whoever sees Cthulhu instantly goes mad.
Yep, yep. And that's like, when she told me that, I was like, really? You know, because even the beginning, it kind of starts out, he's in a dream state and he's talking about walking down this beach and everything. And all of a sudden he starts seeing all the shit. Then he wakes up, you know, I'm like, I thought that was kind of because the description he gave of everything he was seeing, the different beings.
And H.P. Lovecraft is very descriptive in
Yes.
the way he details the entities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. You know, but, and I mean, I understand that some people, it's something they just can't really fathom. You know, it's hard for them to understand or to absorb. You know, that's just how it is with Lovecraft. You know, it's you really have to have your mind in another place when you're reading or listening to Lovecraft. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's intense.
I
But
mean, because honestly, if she was going to start with anything, start with Call of Cthulhu.
yep.
That's the book that gets you kind of into the mythos, and then what is it? Shadows over Innsmouth. What's the other one? Yeah, I can't think of all the books, but
Yeah, because there's like what From Beyond, The Dying. God, there's so many of them.
and the crazy thing is there's still writers out there to this day that are still continuing on
Yep.
in the mythos.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Lovecraft created the mythos, that mythos is still going strong today.
Still being
There's still
carried.
writers that
Kind of
are
like
continuing.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's something that was created by George Lucas, and as
I
you
was
can see,
thinking it.
you know, that's something we've been thinking about talking about one night, which it would be real hard to do in one night. We may have to do a few live shows of just Star Wars because me and Josh,
Yeah.
I don't know how you are, but me and Josh love Star Wars. So
yeah.
I love it to an extent. I don't watch everything because there's just so goddamn much.
there is. There's so much stuff.
But
I'm more of, as far as the other stories taking off, like Guido going off into this, and you know the different species that were from there, even some of the ones that were part of the canteen, they have their own storylines that go. I don't really get into I have listened to the Guido one, which was pretty good, but I'm more along the lines of, okay, which any Star Wars fan, they're for the most part they're for the canon series, which is
The
basically
Skywalkers.
Skywalker, you know. So I get into like Legends, the Old Republic. We're talking the beginning, the start of the Jedi Empire, the start of the Sith Empire, um, Darth Bane, Darth Malik, and above all, Rock On. Darth Revan, or if you want to call him Revan, because he was initially trained as a Jedi, then he became a Sith, then he went back to a Jedi, and then in the end, he became the Force. So, kind of like as you see Obi-Wan after he passed, he come in as a ghost figure, kind of speak. But with when you come back to the Force, you're actually able to do shit. They just can't kill you because you're the Force, and that's how Darth Nihilus came about. He never was a being, a species like me and you or any alien or whatever. He was created from the Force, and that's what made him so powerful. But Darth Revan is my favorite. He's the one that I don't know if you've ever seen him. He kind of has the kind of reddish cloak on, kind of a reddish brown. He wears a Mandalorian mask, and he has two lightsabers. One's red, one's purple, or if you want to say violet and whatever the other color they call red.
Are they the same length, or is there one of those weird short dagger-looking ones?
No, actually, I will show you a picture of Darth Revan.
Because I know there's a sword style that requires a normal size lightsaber, and the shorter one that I've only seen or know of Luke and Ahsoka using those.
Right.
Don't recall what the fighting style is off the top of my head.
Okay, we'll go to this picture here. Okay, basically, that is Darth Revan right there. As you can see, they're two basic lightsabers. Now, he built his own lightsabers, okay? And if you know anything about Star Wars, that's kind of the thing to become a Jedi or a Sith is you build your own lightsaber. Now you take Darth Maul, okay? His lightsaber come out of both ends, okay? He has the light that comes out of both ends, and he could also split them and break them into two lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, you can look, they're two total different lightsabers. They're designed differently. Okay. This one has more of some guards on it, more so than this one does. And yes, the purple one is his actual stronger one. So, and then as you can see, he's got the Mandalorian mask, but that's in this instance, this is Darth Revan. Now, as far as just Revan, basically take the mask off. Still looks the same. He's a badass dude. Even the teachings from him were passed down to Malik, Bane, even some of the older Jedis back then, that even Sidious, Vader learned. They basically, his teachings were passed down to them. So this is basically the dude that kind of started the whole the Sith thing. It existed, but it wasn't nothing. It was kind of a dark, secretive thing. This is where the Jedi's would come, and they didn't want to align themselves with the Empire. So there you have the Sith. So yeah, there's so much that you could discuss about Star Wars that it could just you can get lost, But they are actually talking about bringing Revan into canon. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but yeah. How, and I guess because of the teachings, this is how they're going to bring Revan into play. It would be awesome if they did a Revan movie. They did Darth Bane and even a Darth Malik. Now, Malik was actually Revan's partner when they were being trained as a Jedi. When they were Padawans, they were friends. They grew up in the academy together, and his name was Alec. But when he became a Sith Lord, he became. Now he never went to. he didn't quite finish his Jedi training. He changed
Mhm.
sides and went to the Sith, and that's where he was deemed the name Darth Malik. So, yes, it's some pretty interesting shit. You know, a
Mhm.
lot of people are like, "Oh my god, that's too much." Like Shell, and she don't like Star Wars. I honestly think,
Yeah. No.
you know,
Uh,
but because once again, there's so much that goes on. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with H.P. Lovecraft. It's just it can go on and on and on, and just new stuff
it's
gets written
amazing.
every day.
It's amazing how one movie just brought something to life.
That's it. And just like some of the like Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, that went so many different directions with movies, and even though the baseline wasn't based on that poem per se, you could kind of tell that it did, following along with it and everything. I mean, what was the one that wrote Sleepy Hollow? Irving Washington, I think it was.
Washington Irving.
Washington Irving. A lot of his story writing was based off of Edgar
Well,
Allan Poe kind of shit, you know. Um, I mean, very, very, very dark.
very gothic.
Yes. Yeah, it's
All right.
Kitty,
Cat,
kitty.
you got to get up. You give me swamp balls, buddy. There you go. Yeah.
But I mean, shit. There's so many different things that can be talked about with just them two. Shit, we could carry episodes on episodes of this.
Yes.
Where like me and Josh, we would never get bored with it. Our viewers, few viewers that we have, they'd be like, eh. So it's Lovecraft and Star Wars stuff like that would be like you'd have to do an episode and then do about it and then do a few other things and then maybe come back and touch on it again. You just can't do it episode after episode because it would just bore the fuck out of people.
Yeah. Understandable. Mix things up a bit. I get it.
Oh yeah. I mean that's pretty much all we've done on here. For the most part, we just try to change things up, and we don't get that many views. Don't care. We just like doing it. Just getting on here, talking with people, having fun, just discussing anything and everything under the sun. Our mind span goes is like when the show starts, we start here, and then before you know it, we're not in the left field. We're in the parking lot behind the left field.
Just off staring at a wall.
Pretty much. And then before you know it, we're in the parking lot behind the right field. So it's like, yeah, we kind of bounce everywhere, but shit, we have fun.
I'm gonna hop in when I can.
That's cool.
I
That's
don't
cool.
know if I'll always be able to come in, when you guys start, but I'll hop in once I get off if I got time.
That'll work. Yeah, just hit me up, let me know, and I actually, if you pop up your window and chat something, where your little chat window is,
And
see here, I'll do like this. I just gonna do that. It don't say nothing, but I'll send it to you, and then you answer it.
okay.
Okay. Okay, so now what I can do here. I'm trying to think how I can do this. I'm actually trying to get it where I can add you. Basically, like you tell me that you're ready, and instead of you having to go through the website and all that to log in, I can actually just invite you in, make it a lot easier.
Okay, so just jump on whenever, basically.
Yeah. You just log into Zoom and say, "Hey, I'm here," or whatever, because it really doesn't give me a notification when you log in, which kind of
Mhm.
sucks. Kind of stupid, but eh. Oh, I have a reaction. Oh, check that out.
Good.
I gave a thumbs up. That's something new. I'm gonna clap my thumb.
Rock, paper, scissors, butt plug. Wait.
There you go. There you go. I'm trying to think. Should I be able to chat with? I'm gonna. Okay. Now see if I can do anything here. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out how to add you. I always forget how to do it.
That's all good. There's no rush. We can figure it out later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're trying to figure out what Josh is doing.
Me?
Yeah.
I am putting away food.
Oh, okay.
Whale sound and food.
Did y'all hear that?
What?
Play enter and exit chime. No, we don't want that.
Yep.
There's Daisy. I keep seeing Daisy popping in every once in a while. Daisy. Oh, he's got his earbuds in. Never mind.
Yeah, my earbuds are in.
I was actually trying to call him. She can't hear me.
No, unfortunately,
What?
can't hear you.
Yep, that's Daisy. Powerful.
As she steals his seat.
Daisy. Oh.
Meetings. Contacts.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like there was somewhere I had to go.
Ugh.
Nope. That wasn't it. I'll get it figured out eventually. I can record to the cloud. Got the chat. Okay. I can make you host. I can throw you in the waiting room. I can spotlight your video. I can stop your video, and I can chat. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Oh man.
All good.
So anything crazy happening in your part of the world?
Just stupid people. I had some guy at work. Okay, so I'm at the red light. He's in front of me. I'm obviously on the other end of the street.
Right.
He turns in front of me after I get the green light because he is apparently in the turning lane, doesn't know the difference between a green light and a green arrow. Cuts me off, flips me the bird, and then wants to call, complain to the store and say I cut him off and I flipped him the bird. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
That's what they'll do, man. They'll do it themselves and then turn around and turn the whole story against
Exactly.
you. You know.
And I've driven all of the managers and everything and blah blah blah, and everybody's just like, he wouldn't do that.
Right. I mean, it's people are definitely assholes. I mean, they're just. I see it every day. You know, like with me, you would think, oh, I'm coming up on Walmart. Fuck, I'm in the left lane. There's a dump truck here, and I'm 2 cars behind him in the left lane. Instead of slowing down just a tad and getting behind me to make their turn, oh no, they gas it to get in front of me and then slam on their brakes to turn.
Yeah. That
Or-
was literally, you could have took 4 seconds out of your life just to wait until you get up to that turn.
Exactly. You know, and I mean, it's just, it makes you wonder what these people really think. Matter of fact, I think, I don't know if Josh was on Yahoo chat or Yahoo, listen to me, Facebook video or not, but I know I was on with Shell. He might have been there, but I was in traffic, and because of the construction, they had the right lane closed, so you had to merge into the left lane. Well, this dumbass in this van, I see him way back there, and I'm probably a couple of 100 feet from the barrels as they're starting to close off that right lane. Well, here he comes. He's already got in his mind, dump truck equals slow. So he's got in his mind, he's going to floor it and get in front of me. I sit there and I just held my spot and just kept creeping on. He's trying to come over. All of a sudden, he hit a couple of barrels. He's got his hand out the window. He's flipping me off and all that. I'm like, dude, no sense in being a dumbass. There's nobody behind me.
Mhm.
And it's like, you're worried about 4 seconds.
Okay.
And we didn't even go, what? We went up the top of that was about halfway up the hill when you're going toward Navy Federal. Because you know, you go into the interstate 9 mile, you go down, that's when you hit all the construction. And you get up to the first light, and then that's when the right lane actually turns, but it narrows the traffic down with the barrels. And then you go up to the red light to the main entrance of Navy Federal. So from where the barrel started, halfway down the hill, I'm talking a couple of 100 feet, just to make a turn into Navy Federal. I'm like, really?
Now, I got a stereotype. It's not a racial stereotype, but it's a car stereotype.
Right.
Every time somebody wants to drive like an asshole like that, it's either a Ford Mustang or a Dodge Charger. Was it either one of those?
No, actually, it was a minivan.
Oh, well, that's a new
Yeah.
one.
I deal with I have a lot of rednecks in their pickup trucks that has the 4x4s that sit like this that they call the Carolina Squat. I know you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. And that's not good for their suspension.
No, it's not. Not to mention that your front bumper is now, because you've got it at that pitch, is too high. So if you hit a car in front of you, your bumper is not going to meet their bumper. Your bumper is going to meet maybe the top of the trunk lid.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is your headlight adjustment. You're hunting squirrels now. They're not pointed straight out. They're up. The wear on the suspension, the wear on the tires, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to think about stuff like this. And it's the fact that they'll take an $80,000 damn truck and do this. Never take it out in the woods, but riding in a 4x4 that sits like that is cool.
Oh yeah, much like people who's got like $1,000 car and they want to put $7,000 rims on it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What's the point of that? Like, look, I got money to blow. Good, get a better car.
That's it. I'm all about bagged trucks. I'm all about lifted trucks. I love them.
Oh yeah.
But this shit,
moderation.
Yeah, you know. And you know Felipe, he's all about shit like that. You know, to a point. He used to not be, but he's getting more and more where he's starting to like that shit. And I'm like, come on, Felipe, you know better than that, buddy. Come on, man. I haven't seen him in a while, long while, like 6, 7 months. But I don't hang out at bat like I used to either. As you know me, I used to be up there
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday nights religiously.
Yeah.
So it's funny to walk in there. I went up there yesterday and picked up some juice, and it's just funny to walk in there. They've got all the tables and chairs slammed up against the wall, stacked up on top of each other and everything, just so, you know, because of the whole virus thing. But it's they're still in full swing. And Tyler was telling me they're actually picking up new customers because the other shops like VSOP and Liquid Haze and all of them, they're not they're doing curbside, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They're not comfortable with giving their credit card information over the phone and shit like that.
Yeah.
You can't.
That and a lot of people prefer paying cash.
Yeah, that exactly, and they won't take cash. And um, the fact that you got to know what you want if you go there, you know. So
Exactly.
they're actually gaining quite a few customers from that. So they're like,
Oh yeah.
Tyler's like, we're doing good here. He's like, we're gaining new customers that went to those shops, and he said whether we lose them or not, I don't know. Once this all stops, he said, but for right now, it's good, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
Ride that horse while you got it.
yeah. And it's not like they're going around enforcing anything. So,
No. The day of the lockdown, Miami County Sheriff's already said they're not going to pull anybody over or anything. So it's just lockdown for show.
Yeah. That's all it is. And I mean, honestly, other than me, I don't go into like Walmart or Publix. I order my shit online. And the cool thing about that is I always get my stuff. Everything that I select online and order, I get. So, you know, I mean, yeah, there's been a few times I've looked for something they're like out of stock, but far and few between, you know. Like, I don't have to worry about toilet paper because, well, I've told that story 50 million times. We've got plenty of toilet paper that we got before Christmas because Whatchamaduji had a big sale, so we bought 3 24 packs because they were like like $14 a piece, which ain't bad.
Oh God.
Not for Cottonelle anyway. So yeah, we're still good. I'm not even worried about that. I bought that one bottle of hand sanitizer. I think I've used it 5 or 6 times. I mean, I understand the food industry, you got to a little bit more just because of the whole thing going on. But when I go to work, it's kind of like you. I mean, I really don't go inside or anything. I get in my truck and I drive around all day. So I'm in there by myself, you know, just like I don't really need to do anything.
Right.
I get a kick out of the ones riding around by themselves with gloves and masks on. I love that.
I saw that. I'm like, there is no point for that.
It's like
No, that's no.
it makes you. It just goes to show you how dumbed down people are.
Mhm.
People freaked when DeSantis said that he's going to open the beaches in Jacksonville. People lost their minds, and it's like, people, look at all the people that live in Florida. Look how many positive cases there is now. You figure out the percentage of that. It's like, was it point? What was it? 0.021 or something like that. Nowhere near 1%. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
You know, and like here in Escambia County, it's 0.12%. You got 300.
We're just still at 3 deaths, aren't we?
Do what now?
Are we still at 3 deaths?
I think we're up to 5, maybe 6. But we've got 300 cases, but we have 320,000 people that live in this county too.
Exactly.
So that's a tenth. That's almost a tenth of 1%. So,
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like people, numbers don't lie. Look at the numbers. Now, will it grow? Is it going to get worse? Probably, but not at the point of where you're thinking that right now is an apocalypse, or even then it's going to be an apocalypse. No, it's not.
No.
We can't sit here and
It's
wait in our homes
funny though.
for it to disappear, because it's never going to disappear.
Mhm.
You know, the thing is, government wants to get control of it so they can work with it better and create that vaccine for it, or whatever they want to do. I'm not going to take the vaccine. If I get it and die, I get it and die. I'm not scared of dying. You know, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. You know, I
Yeah.
think we're all, each one of us are put here for a reason, and we may have a task that we're supposed to carry out. And I think once we reach that task, you know, anything else beyond that is borrowed time. I mean, that's just the way I see it. You know,
Yeah.
these people are, you know, oh, I gotta get out. Oh, I'm sitting in my house and I'm not going to work. I got a friend. She quit work because of this, and she works in the food industry. She's like, I am not going to deal with this because I'm just going to quit and I'm going to draw my pennies. Well, she can't get her pennies because guess what? She
She
quit.
quit.
And being that Florida's a no fault state, pretty much, you know, yeah, she's not going to get her $275 a week. So, and that's all you get here in Florida. You don't get no 600 and something. You get 275, and that's it.
Yep.
Which sucks. But
Yeah,
yeah,
starting next week, I'll be getting that extra 600.
yep. So
But that's gonna get it's gonna be retro, so I'm gonna get additional 2,400 right off the rip.
that'll work. And then if he does this other stimulus of the, was it 3K or whatever, you know, I
You
haven't
know,
heard much on that. I heard a little bit about it, but I mean, it would be nice. But it's, then again, I'm like, okay, are we
oh,
gonna have to
see,
pay this
this is
back?
something that I brought up to my coworkers because we're all sitting here unemployed at the moment,
Right.
and I said, why is it that we're making more money sitting on our asses than we do
Then the people out
working
there.
at this
Yeah.
than working?
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't make sense. And they're all they're like, well, it's to boost the economy. And I'm like, well, I understand that, but what fucking economy do we have right now? There's really nothing to go by
Mhm.
Right.
because you can't buy anything that's non-essential right now because almost everything is fucking blocked off.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you go? What are you supposed to use this money for? I'm
Well,
like,
they're hoping you use it to pay your bills.
I've been using it to pay bills.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought
But
it. I mean, I've spent some, but I've spent it on shit I need. You know, socks, underwear. I wanted to get some new work shirt. You know, like these shirts here. I basically ordered like 3 more of these shirts and just shit essentials, shit I need. You know, it's usually like with like the washing detergent. We'll buy a big and we all use. You know, the 3 of us will use it, and then when we start getting low, the other person will buy a big one. That's just kind of how we do things. Drink, you know, like Cokes. You know, one week they'll buy a case, and one week I'll buy a case, and you know, I mean, as far as little things like that's what we do. So I kind of stocked up. I was like, here's a couple of big things of the Gain, the little Tide Pod things or Flings, whatever you call their brand.
yeah,
You know, so and as far as just blowing money, yeah, I bought me a new mod because this one's starting to screw up finally. So I got I'm supposed to be getting it Wednesday. It's the Eve Dillo by UL mod, and it actually hold that 30 millimeter tank. So
oh, this is a theory that's been taken down.
what's that?
Um, coronavirus theory. So I'm like kind of looking over this. I'm in the case counting theory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So death cases. We'll start there. Death case counting also may have some downsides to the numbers by some truth speakers. It is believed that there could be double cases of death in the actual amounts. As far as debunking it, everything that comes through it, it's taken down.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So
Well,
this is the first time I'm hearing that the numbers that we're hearing are actually lower than the actual numbers being reported.
yeah. I had
So,
heard something about the numbers not being accurate, that they were being played higher than what they actually are. So, um, my question is, and this goes along, and that would fall in along with the man in Watertown, New York, dying in a fatal car crash, but his death certificate says COVID-19 on there when he didn't even have any of the symptoms. Wasn't even sick of any kind. But yet his fatality in that crash was considered COVID-19. Why? The wife she's taking it to court. She's already started talking to a lawyer and everything. There's another case out in California that's being brought up as well. But these people it's, I want to say people are so dumbed down, but at the same time, there's a lot of people waking up too.
oh yeah, you've
Um,
obviously heard about the bioweapon theory with the COVID, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Have you, Michael?
No?
You can brush over real quick if you want to.
Okay. So the bioweapon theory is still present in some nations, which governments believe that superpowers were behind the pandemic stimulated. So the United States. The U.S. Country is targeted in this theory, considering to have created the virus first and sent it to China secretly, which I have heard that it has been
Yeah.
proven that Harvard, they get that guy from Harvard,
Yep.
where it escaped in Wuhan and began the outbreak. Example ranges from Iranian media outlets. So Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So China. China's potential is also being targeted, as it is believed that that it is believed that its few scientists come up with a new bioweapon to be unleashed against the USA during the 2018 to 20 trade war. So the way they're kind of wording this is it's all because of the trade war going on between China and the
Mm-hmm.
United
With the
States.
tariffs and everything, right?
Yep. Then it says the theory was debunked and rejected by WHO and plenty other nations, even USA and China, to prevent the onset of a third world war caused by international media fake news.
Right. If people out, let me interrupt you real quick just for a second. If anybody comes to me and says Snopes says it was false or Snopes says it was true, I'm gonna laugh at you because Snopes is about the most unreliable leftist
Fact checker.
sided they can be. And I don't care what side they're on, but the fact that some of the shit that they have said is true or false is bullshit. And it's gotten really worse here in the last few years since the
Well, hell,
husband
the
and
last
wife have
month,
divorced. Huh?
like the last month, I have seen more and more fact checkers on
Facebook.
Facebook than I have ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And now, even when you go look at like theories on YouTube, they put the fact checkers on YouTube now too.
Yeah.
When I was looking in the Pizzagate, it was like, oh, Pizzagate is debunked. Well, obviously,
Obviously, it's not.
it's not, but it's definitely
this is where you have to.
The internet is no longer the internet we had 10
That's
years
why
ago.
you have to step now into the deep web to get pertinent information, which we all know takes a little bit to get there. So, because everything that we do on these normal sites here and everything is regulated by guess who? Google.
Yeah. And
That's where all this fact check bullshit comes in, you know?
And downside of that, you go through the deep, but you might not find everything you want, and
Right.
you find a lot of things you want.
That's true, you know.
Now
I-
we're not telling you to go blatantly look for the deep web. We're not telling you to do that.
Oh yeah.
no. But hell, I remember
the
when
deep web's just a hodgepodge, and it's just so
Yeah.
much.
you know, everybody when Google first come out, and you know, I have been here since the introduction of internet. You know, I remember my search engines that I use. I only went to one website, and that was 37.com.
I've
Nothing
actually heard of
related,
37.
nothing really, because that was 37 search engines that found your shit. Okay.
Yep.
And back then Google was small. This was before all
Very
this
small.
technology bullshit come out, and that they were going to be like Pinky and Brain and rule the internet world, you know, as they have become today. Google owns this whole internet thing. I mean,
And it kind of seemed like it happened overnight too.
yeah. Now, I mean, go ahead.
For me, you know, AOL was we were on the AOL bandwagon probably within the first year AOL was kind of launched.
Right.
The normal search engine I would use would be Yahoo.
Mhm.
Yahoo was the search engine. Google was around, but Google was very small, like you
Right.
said. Around, hell, it was probably around 2000, 2001. Google started becoming a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. What are we looking at
That's
here?
when they got bought out by somebody.
As you can see right up here, what does it say? Not secure. Now, this is before Angel Fire. This website existed even, and y'all remember Angel Fire?
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
was
website.
Go ahead.
I believe they have like a domain
Yeah, and see, I mean,
host.
here, and even back then, okay, you go through Mega Spider, Fast, Open Directory, Direct Hit, Alta Vista, which I remember Alta Vista.
I remember
Yahoo.
Alta as well.
Web Crawler was another one I used to use all the time. Of course, Google
Yep.
is on here now. Lycos, Hotbot was another good one. Planet Search was a pretty good one. There and the Yahooligans. That was kind of added, kind of when Google started getting bigger. I mean, there was so many different sites that you could search for, but back then you could choose. Now you can only choose one to search with out of these 37. Okay. We're used to. Let's do this.
37.com still a thing, or are you looking at that through like way back?
I'm on 37.com, but it's actually hosted by Angel Fire.
Yeah.
Now, it's been years since I've messed around with Angel Fire, so I don't know if it's the same. And the fact that they have Google listed right here,
Yeah.
you know, I always used to choose, before they even put Google into that, I always just choose the 37 search engines to look for my shit, you know? So, yeah. See, you go here,
Oh,
website
God,
not
that's
found.
nostalgic looking.
As you can see, it's pretty much the whole site has been shut down. As you can see, 404 errors everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so that site is pretty much toast.
So
to-
if you
Go ahead.
so if you did want to ever dive kind of into the dark web or deep web, not the dark web. You don't want to go to the dark web.
No, don't fuck with dark web people. Don't.
Probably a good place to go to. Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit, 4chan, 8chan.
Dude, don't bring up
any of
fortune.
the-
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um, but those will be the website. Those will be the websites you can start digging things into, and then you'll go down the rabbit hole through there.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Make sure I got my VPN on. There we go. Yeah, 4chan's
That's a whole different can of worms.
oh yeah, just a little bit.
Yes, it is.
That's a
Not gonna
whole
lie, I had
different
some
kind of
fun
rabbit
back
hole.
in the day.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of rabbit hole. But that's basically where Anon got its start.
Yeah.
Was from
Mhm.
4chan, you know. And dude, all the videos that are coming out now, we for so long we didn't hear shit from Anon.
Yeah.
From like you'd get somebody, and we all know that Anon is not one person, not even a group, or not even really an entity of. It's just anonymous. I don't know how else to put it. You know, several different people that puts out these messages that I guess you could say in the background, some may communicate, some may not. You know, but the thing is, they bring you the pertinent information. That's why you've seen so many times that they've got shut down by YouTube, shut down by Facebook. You know,
Oh yeah.
like right now on YouTube, there's anonymous official. You know, I'm surprised that one has lasted as long as it did. I mean, it's still going strong.
Yeah.
You go over here and look real quick. Oh, that's right. I can't do it on this one because I'm on the Cloud Chronicles YouTube right now. So, but yeah, I mean, there's you want to find out the proper shit, you have to
You have to look
go
for it.
beyond. You have to go beyond the whole Google world. You know,
And
once
that's
you
why I said
slip through that gate, you're there.
Reddit. Reddit is probably gonna be one of your best friends with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at your look at your subreddits, and then everything will fall into place from there because you'll start seeing open like-minded people start posting things, and majority of the time when you're on Reddit, they back everything up with evidence, with things to prove their theories. So
Right. There's so many different places that I want to,
I'm not taking him, no.
just different things I want to look up on that I know I will not find the information
On Google.
surfing through Google or through its protection, the empire of Google. I want to get past that. I know how to do it. It's been a while, and I'm sure it's changed a little bit. But you dig hard enough, you'll find what you're looking for. That's the whole key thing about it is you just got to dig at it a little bit. But yeah, as long as people come up with conspiracy theories, and you have a lot of supporters for that conspiracy theory, and they want to prove that that theory is actually realistic. It's going to get debunked no matter what you do through Google.
Yeah, that's the thing about conspiracy theories like that. You have to, or theories in general, they
Theories.
have to be believable and have enough evidence to follow them up. You can't just toss out baseless conjecture with nothing to back it up.
Right.
Now you're just babbling.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's why when you walk up to that person, you tell them 9/11 was planned by our own government. Most people are going to tell you, "Oh, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit."
Yeah. And then all of a sudden
Okay.
you bust out facts.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden some truth starts coming out, and it's like, we tried to tell you, but you were so dumbed down to believe what your governor tells you or your president tells you that you're just. I don't know if you guys remember the song "Pet" by
No.
Perfect Circle. The video
What is
that
it?
was made for it that somebody else had made, but it was basically, it starts out and there's like, you see these oil well pumps out there. They're pumping and doing their thing, and all of a sudden you see George W. Bush on his horse, and he's riding across, and he shoots his gun, and the American flag comes out. All of a sudden, the fucking horse shits out a TV, and then he picks up the TV, and he goes to this classroom, and he walks in, and he sits it, and there's two kids sitting there, there's a little boy and a little girl, and plops it on there, and then they're watching the TV, and all of a sudden you start seeing this spiral of
Upstairs.
thing. And
No.
then before you know it, the two
Go.
little kids turn into sheep. And I mean, that video is fucking spot on,
Is it
You can't make
is that
people see things if they don't want to see. And I'm just like, shut up and take the blue pill.
Right.
isn't that War Drums?
The what?
The song by Perfect Circle. Is it counting sheep with
Actually, it
the
is.
sound of
Which
war drums?
counting bodies like sheep to the rhythm of the war drums is basically an episode of Pet. It's the
Stop.
same song, but it's kind of carried on into like this kind of. But yeah, you're right. Actually, I will post the video. I'll just post it in the group chat in YouTube. But it's the video. I mean, is so fucking. It's just spot on, with everything that takes place of how your typical American is just the whole watching of TV, watching the news media. I mean, you look at how people are doing right now with this virus, the ones that are freaking out saying, yeah, we need to stay home. We need to stay home because of this virus. That's because 99% of them are sitting right in front of that TV every time a damn task force conference goes on or the president comes on or even their state officials pop up, and they sit there and they watch it and they watch it and they watch it and they watch it, and they go to the website and they look at the numbers, they see like Florida, 26,000 cases. Okay, well, in your head, 26,000 seems like a lot. But then you take that 26,000 from 21.5 million. That's not a very big number at all. And that's what I'm trying to, that's why I like some of the posts I do. That's why I say that. I'm trying to wake these fuckers up.
Yeah, people are panicking. And
Yeah.
they're just forcing themselves to panic more.
That's it. And it's going to drive them to doing stupid shit like suicide and, killing other people or completely going insane.
This is me, okay? I'm aware, obviously, you know me. I'm aware of the numbers. I'm aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go ahead. Let's look at probably the next month. Okay, let's look at end of May going into June. I know come May 1st, the wine's slowly starting to reopen in Ohio. Daisy, shut the fuck up. Um, sorry. Driving me fucking nuts.
She might have to go to the
Uh,
bathroom.
I just took it 2 hours ago. I don't get it. Um, so DeWine's going to start reopening Ohio May 1st. We're not reopening right off that rip. But then it comes to start playing where right now the numbers are contained. The numbers are not peaking the way they would be peaking if we were still out and about, not doing social distancing type or that type of ordeal. Does
Right.
that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
They start to reopen. First and foremost, people don't follow directions one fucking bit.
No, of course not.
Well, this is what worries me. Right now, everything's kind of cool. Everything's kind of calm. We're gonna the United States is gonna reopen. There's a chance this is gonna resurface again. Now, granted, this might get into the whole vaccine argument of that. But me, I'm not going to take that vaccine. You're not going to take that vaccine. Probably Michael's not going to take that vaccine. The ones that are aware of what the vaccine is going to do, we're not going to take it.
Right.
So regardless, we're going to be taking our chances when everything reopens up.
Yeah.
So I just look at it this way. I'm just like, all right, right now everything's good. Everything's kind of calm. Everything's slowing down. But once everything starts to reopen, those numbers are probably going to spike back up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's to the point I'm like, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Yeah.
Daisy, get out. Oh my God, dog. She's all in Jess's shoe, like trying to rip her shoe apart. I'm like, what are you doing? Get your booty up and lay down. My God. Get a puppy. Yeah, get a puppy.
I'm glad my dogs are old and lazy.
Oh, she will be
I'm-
eventually.
I miss having an old lazy dog. No,
Yeah.
have mommy take you out. Don't look at me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm looking at that in a bad light or if I'm looking at it more like a realistic type. I don't know. I don't know how I am looking at that.
Yeah. My thing is once you get back into some normalcy, continue practicing the safe measures just for your own good. You go back to work, order you a mask if they don't supply you any. This is the fact that y'all open up and everything. You got your hand sanitizer, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, don't be stupid and think you're Mr. Invincible and can't be destroyed and go in there full fledged that everything's perfectly okay.
Right.
Because that chance
Because you
of
can't.
chance of spiking is inevitable. Really, it's going to happen.
I mean, and yeah, that's why I'm looking at that. Everybody wants the economy back up and running the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and reopen the economy, but then you're going to see those numbers spike.
Yep.
What happens at that point? if the governors already went the way they did now, once those numbers start spiking again,
And that's the whole thing. What are you going to do? Are they building ventilators right now to prepare for that? Are they making extra masks now to prepare for that second spike? You know, I mean,
Mhm.
they're looking to get ventilators to take care of now or whatever.
They're not looking 2 months down the line when.
Here I am again looking right here instead of looking out here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel like it's going to go into dormancy for another year, and we're just going to have a deja vu moment again.
very very true. That's very very possible. You know, a lot of people have said, "Oh, well, the summer heat will knock it out." No, it won't.
Because
Just like
they've
Arnold.
already done the studies that say that virus isn't affected by hotness, coldness, whatever.
Right.
It has no agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, that's the whole thing. I don't think heat has anything. I mean, if you look at where the infections are, along with the world and where the equator is and everything, I mean, it's like the closer you get to the equator, the worse the cases get. So that makes me wonder, does it thrive on heat? Or does it not? Is it just a coincidence? You know? So, oh gosh, I can't be yawning.
Yeah, we won't know this until we get more experimentation done, and that requires having the virus around longer.
Yep.
yeah,
You know? And like with my job, as far as the dump truck drivers, I don't see a problem. But what about the guys that are running the shovels and that's in and out of the equipment on the jobs where there's like 15 of them working together and you you can't practice that 6 foot safe distance rule if
there's
you're
some
digging a
jobs that
trench,
you can't.
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, and I know why DeSantis did that because they've been trying to work on I-4 between Tampa and Daytona for the last 3 or 4 years to get it widened. And it's so hard for them to do it because of the phase that they're at right now, which is right there at Disney World. So there's nothing but traffic, nothing but traffic. They're only having to do this shit at night. That's the only time. And even at night, the traffic is bad. So it's like, hey, we're going to take advantage of the less traffic out there right now and try to get ahead on this construction. I get it, you know.
I get that as well. I mean, right now is the best time for them to work on road plans and everything else that needs to get done.
Yep.
So because the less amount of people on the roads, the less traffic jams and wrecks and shit is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already know people are dumb when it comes to driving. They'll merge over, not paying attention, and boom.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're stuck in a 4 hour fucking long traffic jam because people don't pay attention. Yep.
Yep.
I wish Escambia County would take advantage of that. We've had
Oh,
Highway
damn.
29 getting rebuilt for what, 6 years?
What's that on 29? We started on
Yeah.
that in 17, into 16, into 17.
70? Oh. But yeah, it's about 4 years.
So actually, it was 2016 because our job numbers, the first two numbers is the year.
Go.
And then the two or three additional numbers, because it's 2 digits dash 2 to 3 digits, depending on how many jobs they take for that year. So if it goes over 100, then it goes into a 3-digit cycle. But the first two numbers of the job is the year that the job was won as far as the bid. Job number for 9 Mile is 16009. Job number for 29 is 16038. So those started in like mid 2016. Even though it seems like it's been about 10 years. It does. I'm so ready for them jobs to be done with,
Right.
you know. And now we're doing.
Trying to merge there is a pain in the ass because every time I go there, the merge lane changes.
Well, I'll give you some good news on 29. I don't know if
Nope.
you've been up 29 the last couple of days or not, but all the asphalt, the base layers have been laid that go the bridge. It goes over 9 Mile.
Good.
So we're pretty much done with all the curbing. Of course, we got all the pipe work done. Now it's getting ready where it's going to be a full-fledged, getting the 2, maybe 3 more layers of asphalt down, and then we got to come back with a top coat of asphalt, which is your what they call a polymer blend. So that's your top coat. That's got the rubber in there. It keeps you like from rain. Helps you stop a little bit better instead of just keeping on sliding. So, but I'm thinking probably fall, late fall. When I say late fall, I'm thinking like November, December. Let's say between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we should be done with 29. Should
We
be.
can only hope.
I hope so, because I'm tired of fucking with that job. 9 Mile, we still got a lot to do. But see, the thing is, they keep adding shit. The state keeps adding shit on for us to do. 9 Mile Road, do you realize we had to put in 8 holding ponds? 8 retention
Why?
ponds for storm drain ponds. Yeah, 8. That
Okay.
lake out there, when you go to the bottom before you climb that hill to get up to Beulah Road, that big lake, we had to cut that in half and make half of it a retention pond. Experts at work.
I guess. Shit.
But the get off ramp up there at 9 Mile and the interstate, like if you're coming out of Pensacola going toward Navy Federal, and then the ramp that comes when you go under the interstate, the ramp that gets off right there, and then they're going to have another ramp that curls off where they can go west. They have changed that hillside there 5 times on how they want to do it. We do the job, we get that area finished, and they're like, nope, this ain't going to work. We got to change it. We'd have to go in there and tear everything down and redo it. It's not our fault. It's mostly the state because they keep updating shit.
Sitting here.
Oh, we don't want 12-inch sewer lines in there. We want 14-inch sewer lines in there. Now get this, Michael. As soon as we get finished with 9 Mile, guess what?
I did.
Doing 9
They're
Mile
gonna
again?
tear. They're gonna tear it right back up and make it 6 lane instead of 4 lane. And now they're talking about putting a flyover, literally putting a fly-off exit ramp from the interstate to Navy Federal, directly into Navy Federal parking lot, literally.
Yeah, because that's where I want my tax dollars to go.
Yeah. So that's the bullshit of my. That's just the bullshit gist of my job. It sucks. It's repetitive, and it's. And see now we're they're putting the Publix out there at 9 Mile and Beulah Road. They've already got where the Tom Thumb is,
Mm-hmm.
and then across from it used to be a little car lot across 9 Mile.
Uh-huh.
There's a brand new Circle K there. It opened up last month. Okay, where the old Country Tavern used to be, across Beulah Road and 9 Mile, that burnt down. Publix is going in right there.
Dude, we've had like what 2-3 new Publix within the last couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah.
We done that Walmart on 9 Mile at right there at Scenic Hills Golf Course. We did all the groundwork there.
I tried.
So, I mean, it's getting to where it's one headache after another. And we're also, our three big jobs is 9 Mile 29 and then North 29, which is from Muskogee Road all the way up to Atmore Cutoff. We're resurfacing all that and putting in a few turning lanes. And they're actually going to put a red light right there at Molino Crossroads now, which they've been needing that for years. So, but yeah, that's our three main projects. We should be done with the 29 North around Christmas. They say Christmas, so I figure probably April next year. This time next year we'll be done. You know,
Have a goal, but make it believable.
I guess. You know, and that's another thing. You know, we were doing that 29 North job. We was doing that shit at night. Well, since they have decided that they want to continue with the construction during this virus, they're now doing the shit during the day. And there's not that much traffic up there. There's Pensacola traffic and all is pretty much back to normal. Navy Federal's not that bad. I mean, it gets clogged up, but nothing like it normally does. You know, like in the mornings, if you're going out that way and you get past Pine Forest and almost to Pine Cone, it's backed up from there all the way to Navy Federal. That's what, a good mile and a half, 2 miles. But that's why they're 6-laning it. Come on, Mod.
Shit, as long as it gets done, I'm tired of it.
That's not even hard.
I want to go back to the weeks of like 45 hours a week. I'm cool with like 45, 50 hours. I'm good with that. These jokers talking about working 7 days a week. I am not doing 7 days. No, I'm not doing 7 days a week. That's too much. 84 hours a week.
Shit. I work 2 jobs. I've had to pull that. It fucking sucks.
Yep, and you do it week after week and month after month. It wears on you quick, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's like I was supposed to go in this morning. My back was hurting so bad I couldn't. I messaged my boss. I was like, I am not coming in. I'm hurting. Sorry. I can't ride in that truck today. I'll end up back in the emergency room. No. And I don't want to do that because, I mean, I wouldn't go to the emergency room at this point now because all they're going to do is give me, here's some muscle relaxers, here's some 800 milligram ibuprofen, have a nice day. That's all they're going to do. So I know how it works. I've been dealing with this shit for 27 years. So, but I got a appointment to get my MRI done on the 3rd of June. So this doctor that I went and seen, that was the first thing. She's like, I understand you're going through all this. She's like, I can't base all that. I need to see images, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what we can do. You know, don't want to. Oh, go ahead.
Does Florida have medical?
As far as like state medical, like Medicaid or whatever.
No. Medical marijuana.
I think they do, don't they?
I think so.
I'm
I know
almost
we just
certain.
opened it. We have at least 2 dispensaries.
Then I would
Yeah.
say you have medical then. Okay.
Yeah.
I
When
think they just
Adam,
passed that, like,
seriously,
3-4 months ago.
when you get everything going on your end,
Uh huh.
look into that.
The only thing is though, Josh, I can't do it with my work because of my
That's what I'm
CDL.
saying. When you finally get everything going,
Right.
look into it. Because the way if you're adamant about, leaving that to go do like Grubhub or DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that, you'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I've been seriously considering is getting into something like that. You know, just to get it to.
Because as far as I know, they don't test.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Do you know if does your Grubhubs and stuff like that, do they drug test?
Don't think Grubhub
The only
does.
time I think you're gonna get tested is if you get in a car accident.
If you get in a wreck or something, yeah.
Yeah, if you're trying
Yeah.
to file, most places they don't do it unless you're trying to file for workman's comp,
Right.
which I am one of the 3 people in my store who could get workman's comp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know when I worked at Pizza Hut,
Uh-huh.
they didn't drug test, but if you got in an accident, they would drug test.
Yeah.
Hi, Evie. What are you doing with that cat? Oh, I
So-
know you can't see everything. Come here, bud.
But yeah, it's I'm definitely looking to get away from there, you know, and it's like friends of mine there at work and they're like, oh man, you know, you make good money here and everything. I'm like, dude, for one, I'm not here to be some fucking rich asshole that needs to make $1,000 a week. You know, with my arrangements that I have, I don't need that much money. Now, if I worked at Grubhub, yeah, or one of those, I could probably make that if I worked a lot of hours.
Oh yeah.
But it would,
Grubhub-
at
Grubhub
that
people
point,
are
it would,
making good money now.
yeah, it's at a point.
Yeah.
The main thing is I can do it on my schedule. If I don't have, here's the thing, I don't have to feel obligated to go in that day. If I'm hurting that bad, I don't have to, because it's a sign in and sign out. Hey, I'm available.
Mhm.
Use me. You know, that's how
Oh,
that works.
I had time. I'm gonna go ahead, say I'm available, do it for 3 to 4 hours, and then go off, and then go do whatever you gotta do. And that's what I was saying, like, you know, because I've heard enough people that talk about like that do it. They'll do like split shifts.
Yeah,
They'll
you do your peak hours.
they'll do their peak hours of lunches, which is like 11 to 2,
Mm-hmm.
11 to 1, 11 to 2, and then like 5, 6 to like 9.
Yeah.
And the night, you know, you might not be working 8 hours, but you're walking away with some serious cash in your pocket from
Right.
tips.
And the main thing is you don't, you know, and to me, honestly, if you're going to make the better money, you're definitely going to have to do that on Friday and Saturday.
That's what I was doing for
Because-
Uber. I was basically just doing Friday, Saturday Uber, just going to the beach.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you probably made a killing doing that.
Oh yeah. And then you had the Pride weekend. I
Yep.
got an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
I think half of them thought I was a bear, but I still made an insane amount of money.
Are the churches still putting up the stupid billboards about pride? Have they pretty
I
much
have
stopped
no
doing
idea.
it now?
I don't know.
It got bad there for a while because all these churches were like, and I asked the pastor about that. I said, I don't understand this. I said, you're supposed to love everybody, right? Well, yes, yes, yes. And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to put a billboard up bashing the gay people. You're
Yeah,
supposed
you're
to
also
love
supposed
them
to
too.
not push religion on somebody, but you
Exactly.
guess how that
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, I don't know how it is up there, but a lot of the street corners around here, your major ones, especially on Saturdays, you have Bible thumpers. They preach to the cars as they go by.
Oh yeah, we've made a
We
thing
don't-
of having.
we don't
me and
really
my
have that
roommates have
up
what we
here.
call drive-bys. And we just shout things at them as we're driving by. I think like Jesus saves at Walmart, and just keep on going.
I know there's.
Oh, my son, he'll park his car and he'll go over there and start shouting shit at them and start talking with them and stuff. He'll be like,
The worst thing we get up here, Jehovah's Witness.
we don't.
You got too many ghetto areas around here. I don't think Jehovah Witnesses want to go out.
There
Because
are.
you know most of them are on bicycles, so.
I'm not
Pull over to preach God to
until I
somebody.
figure
Come
this
out,
out.
your bicycle's gone.
There are 3 3 Jehovah's Kingdoms within like 10-minute radius
Oh wow.
from me.
I
I didn't
think
know this growing up, and then as I grew up and started realizing this, I'm like,
Hey,
oh, that's a Jehovah's Witness thing. That's a Jehovah's Witness thing. That's a Jehovah's Witness thing. I'm like, God damn, they're everywhere out here. I'm
Yep.
like, why is this?
um
But
Hey.
yet
stop it.
we only have one synagogue up here.
really.
Hmm. And that's in Fairlawn. That's the only one I know of. But I mean, we have a bunch of like Baptist churches, Methodist churches, Lutheran churches, Catholic churches.
We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 here in town. Now they're spread out. And then I know there's a couple like over in Milton. Yeah, that's about it. But now you're Baptist and your Assembly of Gods and your United Methodist, them motherfuckers are on every other
Oh,
corner.
we got one because there's something else like West Akron. There's a lot of Muslims, but not your traditional Middle Eastern Muslims. We're talking about the African Muslims.
Right.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of there's one that type of. I don't even think it's a mosque. I think it's just church or something. Um, yeah, I think she does. She peed in boots when I took her.
This is like the fourth time I took her today. You only took her once.
I know.
You're lazy.
I'm just doing stuff.
You're also lazy because you wouldn't get up earlier when I was sick. It's your turn. I took her all day
Did I
today.
hear a menstrual cycle revving up?
It's already there. Yeah, it's already there.
Well, I am getting a bit tired.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to wind it down, find a movie or something. Maybe catch up on my Anon videos, because there's like been like 2 or 3 released in like the last couple of days.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times, Sean will post it in the chat, and I'm just like, whatever. I only pay attention. I was like,
I kind of called her out a little bit. I felt kind of bad, but I was like, she posted something, and I was like, you just put it on your page. Why are
I'll
you
take
sharing
this.
it here in the chat? We get like me and Josh get notifications when you post because we follow
I'll
you.
take. She was chewing your shit too.
She was like,
Yeah.
she was like,
Well, I don't know if she was
oh,
chewing it, but she was in it.
sorry. You know,
Not that one, the other one.
yeah.
All right. But yeah, I haven't, like I said, I really haven't been paying attention. I mean, there's really nothing new going on for us to even really focus on it.
Yeah, definitely nothing going on really in the vape world. The what we have learned about the whole conspiracy things that we dove into about the virus and Bill Gates and yada yada this and vaccines that, we really haven't heard anything different. So
No.
You know, and the whole thing about the conspiracy theories that we talk about, just because we talk about them doesn't mean we believe in them. To some degree, we may. Most
I
degrees,
mean,
no. But
there's things that I believe in that
yeah,
we have talked about. After doing the research and everything like that, I'm like, I
hmm
become more believer in certain stuff.
right.
Um,
Maybe in a different little aspect of seeing it. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, um, my tinfoil hat is I don't wear it, but I have one made. It's in a drawer in case I ever decide I want to pull it out, put it on.
The emergency
CP.
tinfoil hat's always good.
Right. I did see a ski cap. It was on Facebook. And it's just a normal looking ski cap you put on your head, and it's like it protects you. It also can be used as a tinfoil hat because this one absorbs all conspiracy theories, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Not gonna lie, they sold me on that alone. They
Yeah,
drive a hard bargain.
yeah, no shit. I did. Hey, I did get when I first started talking to Josh and Shell. I did get Shell one time. I was like, I said, "Did you know they took the word gullible out of the dictionary?" Out of the dictionary. She's like, "Really?" She's like, "You ass." Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yeah,
Meow.
he can't see nothing. He just sees the wall,
Yeah.
but he's a big lovable lush.
I mean, yeah, it's just probably gonna be a while until we hear any brand new conspiracy theories going on.
Yeah, you do know they took that Microsoft video down with Marina Abramovich. Microsoft quickly took it down.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and they're like, we're not using this video. Yeah, because of all the hate they received. Or as Fox News, I think, reported it, and they said because of all the conspiracy theorists behind it. That's why they. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I've never heard of anybody, whether it be news source, government, or whatever, saying we're removing something because of all the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's the first time.
The closest I've heard about that, something like that, was when you guys remember oh god, what was this woman's name? She was the mascot for Esurance, Aaron Esurance. Pink haired looking spy chick.
Yes,
Okay,
it was the
she just
cartoon one, right?
yeah,
Yeah. I knew something about.
looks
Kind
like
of the
the
Kim
abs are made of-
Possible looking one.
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
They stopped using her about in 2007. Do you know why?
No.
No.
Rule 34.
Oh God.
People made so much porn of this chick that they just looted her out of business.
Oh wow.
Looted her out of existence.
Well, the thing is,
That is hilarious.
Rule 34. That's a gray area.
If you can think of it, there's porn of it.
There's
Yeah.
porn of it.
Yeah.
So there's probably porn of her with a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
just thought of
sure.
it.
That's rule 34. If you ever think if you think of it, I mean, you look at Princess Peach
Yeah.
under
Oh, yeah.
Rule 34. There she is sitting with a dick.
Yeah, no. My roommate called out something very, very specific, very random, and interracial double midget amputee. It's there.
Jesus. Yeah, trust me, I went down that rabbit hole a lot. Rule 34. Oh yes.
Well, I mean, look at
and yes, it did kind of ruin your childhood.
yeah.
It really does.
Look at Marie Rose from Dead or Alive.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, you can fucking get the DLC shit to do all kind of fucked up
I
shit.
mean, honestly, Dead or Alive was. There were new mods for that game and everything else for it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did their thing when they introduced jiggle physics. That's
Jiggle
where it
physics.
started.
Yep.
The beach volleyball game that they did, where they're all in
Yep.
bikinis and you just watch them just jiggle and jiggle.
Oh yeah.
Your bobblehead.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's for sure.
He gets angry. But
Oh. Well, guys, I guess we'll call it a night. I'm tired.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's going on 2 o'clock my time.
Yep. So I guess with that being said,
what are you doing?
we'll call it a night. I'm gonna shut the live down. You can hang out for a minute and Zoom or whatever afterwards. That's kind of usually what we do. But anyway, we're gonna close live off and leave it to you guys to do whatever y'all want. But y'all have a good week. We'll probably be a little bit better prepared for next weekend. This was one of those.
We were kind of all over tonight. I mean, we hit everything we said we were gonna hit,
and a bunch
I
of
mean,
other shit.
and a bunch of other shit. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it was just
Randomness
what-
every once in a while is nice,
Oh yeah.
we hit what we
Can't
hit
be
what
too
we said we were
serious.
gonna hit.
right? That's it. So, but yeah, we'll be better prepared for next weekend, maybe. All right, guys. We'll holler at
Until
y'all later.
next weekend. Have a good week, everybody.